¿Hasta allá?
What were? Ah, okay. Joe Curley and George Contreras here at Pacifica High, where we're about to have a Pacific View League virtual championship game. The 4-0 Tritons on a 13-game winning streak, and the 3-1 Yellow Jackets last time they played, obviously, was 13 games ago. The last time Pacifica lost a game, 36-27 last year last season, over at Oxnard.
Hello.
There we go. And we have all kinds of storylines here for you. Two freshman quarterbacks, Day Wait and Devin Tate. I'm looking at Devin Tate actually setting
football game between the Oxnard Yellow Jackets.
Oh, we're on camera. Anthony Slayers, we're on camera. Joe Curley, George Contreras, wrapping up the 5-game kind of spring mini-season here on Ventura Orthopedics and Ventura County Stars Game of the Week. We end with what has become over the last couple of years arguably the biggest game in Ventura County. You've got Simi Royal, you've got Newbury Park, Thousand Oaks, you've got Ventura Buena, you've got Wainini Channel Islands, Rio Camarillo, obviously all the great games that we cover every year. However, considering the strength of these two teams over the last 3 years, this has become maybe the biggest game in Ventura County on an annual basis. We get to see this game once again, and George, obviously, two fantastic programs. Really excited for one last football game this season.
It's a great way to finish the season. I think for Pacifica, they're coming off their state championship season in 2019. Their only loss that year was to Oxnard, so that's got to stick in their craw a little bit. And I'm sure that Oxnard's probably heard a lot about this state championship team probably a little bit too much, and they probably have a little concern there too.
Part of my favorite, the pageantry of Oxnard Pacifica, are the ASB, I assume, for both schools doing these awesome banners. You can see them. You can see the Oxnard ones across the field, and there's all kinds of different memes associated with it, and SpongeBob is in it a lot. But you can see there's a theme in them. One side is state champions is better than Gonzales Road champions. On the other side, it's state champs but can't get a win on Gonzales
The
Road.
Ina family has been a major part of the football community in the city of Oxnard for many years. We're going to have a moment of silence here. They have touched the lives of many people on both sides of the field tonight. Right now, we ask that you all honor the Ina family and Tammy Ina, who unfortunately passed away earlier this week, with a moment of silence. Thank you. Please remain standing as we honor those who have served and continue to serve our country in military service with the playing of our national anthem.
So we were talking about the signs the two two schools are kind of showing each other as they're getting ready to take the field here, and then we should probably shouldn't go on until we mention the brand new beautiful sign on actual Pacifica High Stadium over there, their state champion 2019 state champion sign. First time I've actually seen it in the flesh. First time actually we've seen this beautiful new field for Pacifica with all the Oxnard schools.
Yeah, the Oxnard Union High School District has done a fantastic job this year getting field turf and tracks put in at most of the schools. Pacifica doesn't have a new track, but their track was fairly new already. But the upgrades at all the stadiums in this district have been really, really outstanding. I think it's long overdue, especially as far as the field turf, football field and soccer field is concerned.
So, Coach, let's get to the game.
In the spirit of a positive rivalry,
what are you expecting? What have you learned this week?
Well,
can you tell us?
I think what we've learned, we saw Oxnard last week with a freshman quarterback for the first time,
meeting with Oxnard
doing a tremendous job with the running back,
with the Gonzales Road sign at midfield.
I expect Oxnard to run the football, and I expect Pacifica to do the exact same. They have a freshman quarterback, and so this game should be done about 8:15 if all things go according to plan. There'll be a lot of running.
For allowing seniors to attend tonight's contest.
The ASB presidents are taking photo.
Also, a special birthday shout out.
The 50 with the trophy. This is obviously a trophy game. We've got the Gonzales Road sign is the trophy. And obviously both these teams playing, both these teams located about a mile or two
maybe
away from
two
each
at
other.
the most. Yeah,
on Gonzales Road.
All students to please sit in the designated student section.
I think one of the big concerns is, when you get to these rivalry games, emotions become a big thing. And I think one of the major situations tonight will be during the first quarter, which team can control their emotions and play football, not do extracurricular stuff that's really not part of the game. That'll be a big issue, I think, tonight for both
Captains
teams.
For Oxnard, number 2.
A big play is going to decide it because we've seen this game year after year. 2 years ago, it was an interception return to set up the game, deciding touchdown for Oxnard. Obviously, the big play last year was the kickoff return for a touchdown by Xavier Harris to break open a really close game. We probably think this, knowing these teams this year, it's probably going to be a defensive play because these two teams have been defensive oriented. They've got freshman quarterbacks. They're, like you said, we expect it to be a ground battle. And two great defenses on display
left
tonight.
Tackle, number 51.
Well, I think you're 100% correct. It's going to be a defensive battle.
Left guard, number 59,
I think a couple things.
Rivera.
For both of these freshman quarterbacks,
Center, number 50,
they're going to need made a few plays during the course of the game. And I think a lot of that's going to come down to their receivers. They've got to make some plays for their quarterbacks to get them over that hump and into the comfort zone.
That's the wide receivers.
And the difference we have in the quarterbacks, the Oxnard quarterback who's a freshman, Devin Tate, he's the quarterback of the future for that program. For Pacifica, they're starting David Ipu for the first time as a freshman at quarterback. And he's not really a quarterback. He's a backup quarterback type kid who's a great prospect as a defensive back, where he's been starting all season. So we're just trying to get him through in this game as far as the Coach Moon is concerned. Right. So I think that's going to be a big issue for sure. It will be a defensive game, I'm sure. And we've got three great defensive linemen for Pacifica. Ploy Aina, Buck Henderson, and his brother J.D. Henderson. And Coach Moon said if it wasn't for those three guys, they wouldn't be 4-0. So look for some great plays out of that defensive line. Flipping it over for the Yellow Jackets, defensive ends Trust Hunt and Jalen Langkildy, and linebacker Titus Hutchison are just the keys to a very, very solid defense. Again, this is last week for Oxnard. They've had troubles holding on to the football for the first three games. Last week, they had 14 turnovers in the first three games, only one last week. So that's going to be a key again for Oxnard's success. Is ball efficiency and holding on to that football, limiting any kind of mistakes, and having great time of possession will be key for them.
The coaching staff.
All right, so I'm going to go cover this game on the field, and we will bring in
offensive coordinator Eric Diaz.
Pinch hitting.
Offensive and defensive line Mark Brondo.
Danny Page. Everybody's favorite play-by-play guy in Ventura County.
Running backs Tamar Lee. Linebackers Richard Valdivia. Defensive backs Marcus Alford. Defensive quality control, Dean Litton. Kicking coach.
Thank you, Joe Curley. Enjoy your spot on the field where you certainly belong. Yeah, Anthony, come on. You know I always run a little hot on this microphone. Danny Page and George Contreras will take you through the next 4 quarters of football that conclude the season. It's funny, George. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here with you. But it's funny when you think about the fact that Pacifica played more postseason games last year than total games this season, winning 6 games en route to a historic state championship. At the same time, George, a win tonight could mean as much as any win in last year's postseason.
It's a little hard to hear up here with our. We've got some good music. I think this is Lawrence Welk music. I'm not sure. And we're off.
And we are off, and we can actually hear the kick fielded at the 15-yard line by the up man and tackled on the right side of the field at about the 22 is Marcus Bastillo.
Andrew Tilson on that tackle. Nice open field tackle on that kickoff.
21, Andrew Tilson.
And that's a good way for Pacifica to start the game. They've got this guy tackled on about the 21-yard line, 22-yard line. Awesome.
Yellow Jackets.
I love that you brought up what was really a really long-term project in the Oxnard Union High School District, which was getting everybody synthetic fields at the same time, right? You couldn't just give it to one school at one time. And here we are. This field looks absolutely beautiful. On a stunning Friday night here in the county, it feels like October, but it's April. And
number 5,
Devin Tate
he keeps the ball.
Keeps it, and it's a 2-yard loss. Not exactly the way Oxnard wanted to start. As you said in the pregame, they're going to run the football.
Yeah, that's Boogie Franco, who is really their running back. They have a sophomore quarterback, and last week against Buena, they used Franco as his wildcat tailback position probably 60% of the time. So this is not unusual for them.
Second and 11. Loss of 1 on the play.
Similar set as you mentioned, motion man, and he will keep. And it goes for about a 1-yard gain, bringing up 3rd and 11. This is reminiscent of the Mark Beckham Oxnard teams in some way.
Run the football.
By number 8,
as Coach Moon said during this week, the reason that Pacifica is 4-0 is because of their 3 defensive linemen. and that would be the brothers Buck Henderson at nose tackle and J.D. Henderson at left end, and then Poi Aina at right end. And so far in these first two running plays, that defensive line has done a great job.
Yeah, and Poi Aina is just one of the absolute stars of this region over the past few years. The final time that we will be able to see him on the field, the 6'4" senior, throwing down the left side on a long third down, and it's a really clear pass interference. John Vasquez, the senior quarterback,
number 23
intended along the near side for the aforementioned return man Bastillos.
Suspended by number 15.
Really a very clear pass interference penalty when it might not have been necessary.
Yeah, that ball was way overthrown. But again, in high school football, there's no uncatchable ball type rule, so that is a pass interference and totally unnecessary. One of the issues for Oxnard tonight, especially for Pacifica tonight, is that Day-Day Aipu, their freshman quarterback, normally starts at corner, and they had a great season, so that's going to be an issue in the passing game.
First down for the Yellow Jackets.
And he will not be starting at corner tonight, correct?
He's not playing right now, and I think they'd like to keep him off that as much as they can, just concentrate on the offense tonight.
What a state of the game. I remember, 20 years ago, your quarterback was your kickoff return man and your safety, and it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
A little pitch to Vasquez, who swings right and gets absolutely nothing. That time we did see the freshman quarterback, Devin Tate,
Franco
behind center. It's an interesting situation, isn't it? Obviously, the way that this season unfolded, not being able to have a fall season. But for you as a longtime coach, you would be really excited. You'd be drooling over the opportunity to play 5 games in the spring if you got, to then play again in the fall, which we're almost certain that they will.
They will, more than likely.
Yeah.
One of the issues, though, has been this injuries, which we'll talk about after this play.
So Oxnard's run game, a net negative at the moment. Quick throw over the middle, and that's incomplete from Tate. Your thoughts, Coach?
Intended for Bustillos.
Again, tonight, when they do get on offense, the reason that Pacifica's going with a freshman quarterback in Day-Day Aipu is because 3 of their quarterbacks are out with injuries. I think that's one of the real
loss of 3 on
negative
down,
things
no
about
gain
this
on
spring
second down,
season.
brings up 3rd and 13.
It was kind of put together at the last second, and normally a high school team has to have 14 days of practice before they can play in a game, an individual 10 days of practice before they can play in a game, and we'll pick that up in a second.
3rd down and 14, 9:41 to go here in the first quarter at Pacifica High School. Straight drop on 3rd down, and the hero of many days last year, Poi Aina with the sack, and that's a familiar sight for the Triton faithful. Of course, that huge sack against Lucerna to clinch the Section 6 championship game, and he does it again on the opening drive.
Yeah, and again, he's playing with a little bit of a heavy heart, as we saw in the pregame show.
4th and long.
His mother passed away this week, so
number 8,
Titus sure has a little bit more inspiration than in a normal game.
Absolutely.
Into punt formation for the Yellow Jackets.
Last week, Oxnard had some issues with their punting game. Let's see how it goes tonight. Good snap.
And it's not a bad kick. It'll bounce right around midfield. Picked up on the fly by Pacifica, but it appears the return man had called for a fair catch. That's Boy Slade, the senior. And the Tritons are right on the 50-yard line. This is great field position for
Absolutely.
Pacifica.
And for Day-Day Aipu, it's his first start, but last week against Rio Mesa, due to injury, he had to play quarterback in the 4th quarter and during the overtime, in which they beat Rio Mesa 17-14. So he's got a little bit of moxie to him for sure.
When you look at Day-Day Aipu and when you look at Devin Tate, do you see them as the long-term starters for this?
I think for Tate, yes. I think for Aipu, no. He's going to be a defensive guy primarily down the road. I think that was Lawrence Welk, wasn't it?
Yeah. There you go. And
back down, dead ball.
Pacifica going in the opposite direction. A false start.
5-yard penalty, going to be 1st and 15.
And when you've
before
got
the opening snap.
Yeah, when you've got a freshman quarterback, the last thing you want to do is put him in 1st and 15 situations. You want to get him in good positive yardage situations.
Pacifica, of course, comes in 14-0. Excuse me, on a 13-game win streak, 4-0. The Tritons, the state champions a year ago, with a defeat to their bitter rivals in Oxnard. And quarterback keeper along the left side for Ipu. He picks up a first down, just strides his way beyond the 40-yard. Actually, it looks like he stepped out at the 44.
Gain of 11 yards.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 4.
That's just some confidence in the young man.
2nd and 4 upcoming.
And again, the Ipu name is a famous name in the Oxnard Plains. A lot of great athletes with that name have played here and at Channel Islands over the years. And here he goes again.
Keep it again on the left-hand side. Slips a
Alpue
little
on the
bit.
keeper.
He
Good for
picks
3
up
yards.
3 yards. It's 3rd and
Tackled
1
by number
upcoming.
22.
Now, that is one thing that I'm sure you coached a lot
Titus
over the
Hutchinson.
years, is when
3rd
you
and
look
1.
at a young quarterback, there is always this propensity to, tuck it and run, right? If you don't see anything in your first or second read, bring the ball down and just get out and go, and that's not always the ideal result.
No, not at all. But in this, they're doing their run-pass options, so it's a simpler read, and it's not a 1, 2, 3, go. It's basically keying one guy and deciding whether or not to keep the ball. This is coming off of their running game at this point. So I think this has been a good series for the young man.
See if the Tritons can pick up a first down and give off of the right guard, and that is good for 5 yards and a first down for
Whitney on
the
the carry.
Tritons.
For Pacifica, this has been a very solid
Tackled
first
by number
drive against
99,
what's really
Hunt.
been a tremendous
Pick up
Oxnard
a 4 on the
senior-laden
play, 1st
defense
and
this
10
year.
for Pacifica.
As I said earlier, the Yellow Jackets had 14 turnovers in the first 3 games of the season, and still were only giving up about 9 points a game. So their defense is stout, and what you'll see here is, from what we saw last week, they'll bend a little bit, but when they get close to the goal line, they get really tough. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, Oxnard has only relinquished, around 40 points on the season. Pretty phenomenal figures.
Whitney on
2-yard
the
gain and a late flag. I didn't see that.
Tackled by
Yeah,
number
we had a
99,
late hit.
Gus Hunt.
If they're lucky, it'll just be a late hit. If it's not, it might be a helmet-to-helmet shot, and that might be an ejection. But I think it's going to be just a late hit.
Flag on the play, dead ball foul, personal foul against the Yellow Jackets.
It is a personal foul against Oxnard, but as you said, it doesn't appear to be
Going to be a 15-yard penalty from the end
flag
of the play.
that will warrant an ejection. But here with 7:27 to go, Oxnard offensively really only able to benefit from that pass interference call.
Ball is down to
And
the
frankly,
20-yard line.
Pacifica's
1st
marched
and
right
10
down the field.
Pacifica.
It's
this
a
is
net 30-yard gain. They're on the 20-yard line.
Again, huge emotional thing, positive emotion for this Triton offense.
It is another give to Jordan Whitney, who looks like he'll be the
Jordan Whitney
lead
on the
back on
carry.
the evening, perhaps.
Yes.
Gain
yes.
of
Whitney
6
on the season,
play.
216 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he picks up 6 on first down.
And Coach said he's a very
2nd and
physical
4.
type runner, which he's been showing.
Here's Whitney
Oh,
again, a
nice
nice cutback
pass.
inside the 10.
Very nice cutback.
Whitney on the carry.
Again, right now you're looking at a sophomore
Tackled
running
by
back, a
number
freshman
35.
quarterback. Their next 2 running backs they put in are both
Antonio
freshmen.
Solis also had
So
the
we
tackle
have
on
a
the
young
previous play.
group here for
First and
Tritons.
goal, Tritons.
First and goal from the 6, and it's fumbled by the freshman quarterback. He does
Alpue
well
on
to
the
fall
keeper.
on it, and it'll
Loss
just
of
be
1 on
a
the play.
nervous moment after that 3-yard gain,
Number
and it's
2
now
for the Yellow
2nd and
Jackets
goal
on the
from the
tackle for
9.
Ennis.
Near disaster averted.
Yeah,
Second and
that's
goal from
exactly
the
what that
9.
young man did not want to happen.
No.
Fortunately, got the ball back. That's key.
He's going to come off the field.
Yeah, they said they have Aina coming in, perhaps as a wildcat in this situation.
Yeah, he's taking the signal, it looks
Oh, he's bringing
like.
it over. Yeah, he's getting it and going back out there. I hope he's in good shape, man. He's only 140 pounds. That's a lot of calories he's burning here.
6-foot-tall freshman, again, a star corner who will be a staple at Pacifica for the next few seasons. Just a few seconds left on the play clock. Tritons get the play off. It is Ina, and Ina carries down inside the 5-yard line, right at the 5. It's 3rd and goal.
Taken out of bounds by number 13, Angel
And they're
Pignol.
working to that left side. The best offensive lineman for the
Gain of 4 on the
Tritons is
play.
number 51,
From
their
the
left
5-yard
tackle,
line.
Donald
3rd and goal
Dixon.
for the Tritons.
Only a junior, going that way again.
It is Ina once more, and Ina's just short. He's
Boyana on the keeper.
inside the 1, 4th
Down
and
to the
goal.
1.
You're certainly going for it.
Fourth and
I would
goal
think so
from the
here.
1 for the
Even if you
Tritons.
don't score here, you're going to leave them with a 99-yard field and a team that's not really great at throwing the football. So I think either way, it's a win-win situation.
That's, 2 negative runs as well for Oxnard on the
Yes,
last possession.
yes.
So a big moment early in this game, 5:30 to go in the first quarter, scoreless between Oxnard and Pacifica. on the Ventura County Star Game of the Week, brought to us by Ventura Orthopedics. And wow, right on in is Pacifica. Just barreling his way into the end zone is J.D. Henderson, the senior defensive lineman. They couldn't have made that look any easier on 4th down.
Henderson's a transfer from Grace Brethren High School and just bowled his way in there. Good, solid run. And then one of the things there, again, they broke a key there. They went to the right side.
Dead ball foul, personal foul.
Oh, we got a penalty here.
Against the Tritons.
A little bit of celebrating, and these two teams, just 2 drives in, have already exchanged 2 personal fouls. It's to be expected in many ways.
And again, this is what Coach Moreno was very concerned about in talking to him, is this first quarter, the emotions being kept somewhat in check and playing football, not doing some extracurricular stuff.
Right.
And it looks like they're going to take that penalty on the kickoff. That should get them some good field position. Now we got number 70, Derek Mejia, who's a sophomore, is kicking the extra pointer. He was the hero of last week's game, again due to the injury that took down their quarterback, who was also their kicker. So Mejia made the field goal in overtime that won the game for him against Rio Mesa last week.
Yeah, a huge win, 17-14, of course, preceded by that 27-20 win over Ventura. I mean, it's been different as the kick is up and good. It's been different for Pacifica this season than it was a year ago, right?
Yeah, well, they lost their entire defense, basically graduated with one exception.
Yep.
So that's a lot of kids they had to replace there.
5 minutes, 16 seconds left.
But again, I think this is a good
7-0.
a good sign of the coaching staff that Coach Moon has assembled. They've been able to get through this season and not just survive. They've been winning, and doing things to get the job done. So again, a good, solid coaching staff put together by Coach Moon.
Yeah, I mean, how do you respond and follow up and not unbeaten, but an unbeaten playoff run, a state championship? There's a ton of pressure preparing for a normal season. To have these kids just aching to get on the field,
it's been a tough year for everybody, with the uncertainty of when we're going to start, how we're going to start, how many games we're going to get. And even this, this week with the testing, Coach Moon told me he wouldn't know until this morning if they could play the game. It would depend on how the COVID test came back, and obviously nothing was positive, and here they are. But it's been that kind of a year, and hats off to all the coaches. And the other thing, too, is we need to mention that the coaches' wives and their families, too. They've taken a big hit this year with the uncertainty of it all, and the day-to-day things that everybody has to go through with the COVID this year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so much perseverance, really, for everybody to be here. And in what Rhiannon Potke once labeled the Gonzalez grudge match, Pacifica strikes first, but a nice kick return up to the 44-yard line, and that is exactly what this Oxnard team needed.
Yeah, much better field position by about 25 yards, and that helps Oxnard a lot.
Yellow Jackets take over at their own 44-yard line, 1st and 10.
And it just shows, what a penalty can do, right? To build confidence in an opposing team. Really unnecessary after the touchdown.
Yeah.
But Oxnard now has it at the 44-yard line.
Let's see what they can do with the ball this time. They need positive yardage. They need to get a first down.
A little bit of confusion on the option on the left-hand side, but it's still a nice gain.
Yeah, absolutely a good gain. Got about 8 yards on that.
Quarterback keeper by number 5, Jaden Franco.
Jaden Franco. And
Tackled
Franco, as you said, Coach, he gets 8 yards, gets to the other side of midfield, and 2nd and 2.
Yeah, so that's we've got a field change very quickly there between that kickoff after the penalty and a good first down play. And Boogie Franco, as long as they had him in the backfield, they're in the game. They will always be part of this.
2nd and 2. It'll be Franco again. He'll keep again. Goes right through a little seam and picks up 6 yards. So the Yellow Jackets, as you said they need to get a first down.
Santiago
and again, the young man you need to watch on the offensive line for the Yellow Jackets, number 77, Matt Cortez, 6'2", 280, who Coach Moreno has called a road grader, a la John Guerrero, who played at Oxnard many years ago and wanted to be an All-American at SC and playing a little bit with the Rams and Cowboys, I believe. He is a guy to watch. Number 77, I believe, is on your left side right now.
Yep, that is correct. Oxnard with Franco again in the backfield, and he'll just keep again.
Franco.
Right up the middle, picks up 3 yards on first down.
three.
Can't complain about that.
Yeah, no solid games.
You know, looking back to the opening drive, you had a loss of 3 yards on the first play, then a 1-yard gain. Then after Oxnard picks up the first down, you had
40.
a couple of negative plays. What are you seeing differently up front on this drive inside of 4 minutes to go in the first quarter?
I think right now it's. I'm sure they talked to their offensive line. Hey, this is the strength here. We have been a great offensive line all year long. Let's get after these guys, and that's what they're doing right now. They're just going down to their basic plays, and here comes their counter play.
Yeah, it's handed to Franco by Tate. And Franco is spun around at the 31, and that's a first down for Oxnard. So just like that, what an answer thus far from Oxnard.
That's what you don't like to see as a linebacker, is you see a pulling number 77 coming up the hole at you.
Enough for a first down.
Matt Cortez, who's again 6'2", 280-pounder, running with a head of steam.
Very athletic 280-pounder.
The Triton 31-yard line, 1st and 10, Yellow Jackets.
Pacifica fans sensing an important moment. I think they scored that. They saw that touchdown drive. They saw Oxnard's first drive and said, "This is going to be easy."
Not so.
Not so. Tate sprints right, throws back to the near side, has a man, but he misses him. The ball is physically caught by Bastillos.
Intended receiver is Marcus Bastillos.
But you got to be inbounds.
That's true.
Be on this
or if
side.
you were in Canada, he's still okay. He's
Right.
still alive, but not in America, unfortunately.
Wait, how's that in Canada? You're saying because the field is wider?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But those are the kind of throws that I think are good for this young man. It's a little bit of a throwback type of a deal, and gives him a little time to work. But I don't think you want to build your whole thing around Devin at this point in time. But get him a few throws in there while he can. High percentage ones.
2nd and 10. Sprinting right. And that'll go down as a sack, about a 6-yard loss. So Oxnard really leans on the run game, then throws on first down, incomplete, 2nd down sack, and now it's 3rd and long.
Mendoza, number 2, Nico Nares, in on the sack.
Yeah, Nico Nares had made a nice play on that coming off the edge there.
It's going to be 3rd and 16.
This is one of the things where you've gone from running the ball. Now you've thrown the ball once, incomplete, and take a 6-yard loss. Now it's 3rd and 12. Now, again, for Oxnard, this is a 2-down situation to get these 15 or 16 yards here.
3rd and, let's call it 16. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Pacifica. On the VC Star Game of the Week presented by Ventura Orthopedics. Tate flushed again. Rolls to his left. Just tries to sky one, and it could be picked, and it's just in and out of the hands of the cornerback.
For number 1, John Vasquez.
John Vasquez did a nice job turning himself into a defensive player there and breaking up that potential interception.
The deflection for the Tritons.
So it looks like they are going to punt. New people come on out. But
4th and 17.
Going from that good hard running game to 2 incomplete passes and a sack really disrupted that drive.
And to say the least, you want to mix it up a little bit, right?
Sure.
You don't want to just run on 1st and 2nd down.
Yellow Jackets, number 30, Julio Cardenas.
Every series.
Number 8,
but at the same time, they just got away from what was working.
Exactly.
You feel like a little bit, Coach.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a nice punt. Took a backwards bounce.
So much. Fair catch called for it. Bounces at the 15. And
kick is illegally touched by Oxnard.
I agree with you. I don't think you want to abandon it completely, the passing game. But again, you've got a freshman quarterback. It's there's going to have issues with that kind of a kid, and we know that going in. So I think Oxnard, I should say, Pacifica is pretty happy with that series as the way it turned out.
Yeah, all things considered, they get the ball back with a 7-0 lead, despite Oxnard with a couple of solid first downs.
That reminds me, have you been to London recently? You're a big Ben? No?
I don't think anybody's been to London recently.
No. I just brought back memories for some reason.
I mean, we are basically sitting on top of the very loud PA system here, but that's all good. Sprinting to the left-hand side again, to the right side is Jordan Whitney, and Whitney's still going. He's up to midfield. Run out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. What a run from the senior coach.
Wow. Again, Coach Moon said that Whitney's their physical runner, and he certainly looked like it there and showed some speed as well. About the 40-yard line, he ran over a guy that would make Jimmy Taylor proud.
216 yards on the season, averaging 54 a game. He picked up 52 right there. And the fake is to Whitney, penalty flag down, likely against Pacifica.
Taken out of bounds by number 44.
Ipu is run out of bounds, but this one's coming back, maybe 10 yards in the opposite direction.
Well, that hurts a bit.
Yeah, it does.
The Coach Moon had told me earlier this week that one of his plans with his young quarterbacks is to come out with a high-tempo offense, which they really have so far. And I think that's caught Oxnard a little bit off guard. And then adjust from that to see how things are going. Right now, I see no reason for them to get out of the up-tempo. It's been working quite well for them.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was that, Paul McCartney? No.
I think it was. I think we'll hear his song in a minute.
Right. So 1st and 21. Keeper again from the young quarterback. It's about a 3-yard gain.
Number 22.
Yeah, and we got running back in now, giving Whitney a little bit of a break. We got number 5, who's a freshman.
Josh Joyner.
Yeah, and one of the little scat backs is the way Coach Moon referred to him. He's not very big.
Has just 80 yards rushing on the season.
Yeah, he's listed at 5'9" and 0 weight, so he looks heavier than 0.
Put on some weight.
Yeah.
Throw on 2nd down, and that's complete. Kind of a long throw across the field, especially for a freshman. Tommy Alfaro's down to the 20. Sorry.
Yeah, not just a freshman, but a 5th-string freshman. You know, that's a very good throw. As Coach said, he's a good athlete, and he's showing that.
And those type of throws at the high school level are deceptively very difficult, right? Throwing across the field. On 3rd down and 1, it's an inside handoff, and it's good for a 1st down, and
Josh
quite a bit more.
For the
so Pacifica trying to make this a
2
2-score game as we will move to quarter 2 momentarily. There's about 20 seconds left here. As you can see, a 7-0
number 22, Titus Hutchinson.
This offensive line for for Pacifica is doing a great job. Center Christian Alejandre is a senior who did start the championship game last year against McClymonds High School down at Cerritos College. But I'm very impressed. We saw Oxnard last week, and their defense was really nails. Tonight, Pacifica's line is doing a great job.
Oxnard 0.
They are playing like champions, to say the least. The state champions and CIF champions a year ago, although they were not City of Oxnard champions.
Right. One of the things Coach Moon said, this is Coach Moon's 8th year as head coach at Pacifica, and his record against Oxnard is only 2 wins and 5 losses. So they've had his number a bit the last 7 seasons, and I'm sure he would like to start balancing that out a little bit with a win tonight.
It certainly would. Maybe it wouldn't match the achievements of what we saw a year and a half ago, but it would be a really nice way to cap off the season with an outright league crown. Right. The Ventura County Star Game of the Week is brought to you by Ventura Orthopedics with 6 convenient locations throughout Ventura County. The experts at Ventura Orthopedics are ready to serve your bone, joint, and muscle needs. And seeing an orthopedic specialist is even easier with Urgent Ortho. Now offering Saturday hours in Ventura. Just walk or limp. I didn't write this. In for immediate orthopedic care. For any questions or to make an appointment, call or text 800-698-1280. Visit VenturaOrtho.com. They've been such amazing partners of the Game of the Week for many years. I know when I was doing high school football broadcasts before the Star, they were huge supporters then, and Ventura Orthopedics just cares about sports in this county. On 1st down, complete for a short gain, about 3 to 4 yards.
Yeah, I go to orthopedic every Saturday morning after our games just to recoup from being out here in the cold.
Right.
They do a nice job.
I thought you were going to say you go to a different type of therapy after spending your Friday nights with Joe Curley.
Oh, well, Joe's a wild one. You know, I can't keep up with him.
Down to the 9-yard line, 2nd and 7 from the 9.
I'll call it a 3-yard gain. Give around the left side, spinning out of the tackle is Joyner, and that's a bit of a freshman mistake, right?
Yes,
You turned a 3-yard loss into an 8-yard loss, and now it is 3rd and long.
Killed and then forced back and tackled.
Again, he's a freshman. That's what freshmen do, unfortunately. And this puts the offense in a real tough situation. It makes the Oxnard front very, very proficient right now in a 3rd and long.
An inside handoff again. Absolutely leaning on Whitney, and Whitney takes a shot, getting back to the original line of scrimmage after first down. So 4th and 7, and it's time to kick, right? Inside the 10-yard line, you make it 2 squares.
That was
7 from the 9.
Boogie, number 5, Boogie Franco, the running back for Oxford, who came up from the safety position, made the big hit.
Mejia on to kick.
And Mejia should be pretty much, according to Coach Moon, this is about the outer edge of his limits. We'll see how he does here.
27-yarder.
Yeah.
A 27-yard
Derek Mejia, the sophomore kicker, number 70, classic kicking number.
Absolutely.
And here we go. It's certainly away. It has the distance, and it's right down the middle. 10 minutes and 9 seconds to go in this second quarter. Tritons lead 10-0. Getting that second score, that's big against an Oxnard offense that has a few first downs, but nonetheless, it's a really big step.
Well,
for
I think with the history of the Oxnard defense this season, one other thing that Oxnard needs to do is score points. They do not want to play a low-scoring game. If it's a low-scoring game, it's going to wind up being in the hands of Oxnard, so they need to get points on every drive if at all possible. And I think they have, right? That was their second drive.
So second drive.
Yeah, 2 drives, 10 points.
Second drive, second time scoring. Oxnard 41-0 winners to open the season. Of course, for the game of the week, we were at the Ventura Rio Mesa game. The Yellow Jackets lost to the Cougars the following week, 18-13. They beat Rio 14-11. And then 16-13 win over Buena last week. I mean, these have been old school defensive battles, late 90s kind of games.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the whole COVID thing, that these teams didn't have the off-season conditioning programs. They didn't have the summer of 7-on-7.
No.
So all those kind of offensive weaponry of the passing really didn't get a chance to develop this year.
Kick's taken up to the 24-yard line. Oxnard will start from there. So again, the one successful drive, even though they didn't get any points on the board,
First on the play
was starting at the 44-yard line, and they just don't have great field position again.
No, this is hard. Doing the analytics work for a team I'm working with in Barcelona, the 30-yard line is the key thing on the kickoff return.
Right.
If you can get it past the 30, that's a plus for the return team. Inside the 30, plus for the kickoff team. So far, it's 2-1 in favor of Pacifica on kickoffs.
Which analytics team is that?
Barcelona Pioneers in beautiful Barcelona, Spain.
I can't tell if you're being serious.
No, I am. No, I am being serious. They're 5-0, going into their regular season finale this week.
The kick returner.
What day is the game?
It's on Sunday against the Alicante Sharks.
11,
what time?
Probably about 4 o'clock in the morning our time.
2nd and 2.
Right. Well, I'll be back on Sunday.
Well, there you go. Go to Alicante. I know.
It's in Alicante. Okay. Yeah. No. The football team does play. Maybe a 15-minute walk from my house.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to go check them out. 10-0 Pacifica here.
Ooh.
As the ball's fumbled, and what a break that would be for Pacifica. But Oxnard falls on it and picks up a few yards while they're at it. It might have been good enough for a first down even, I think.
I think
up to the 35, and it's going to be enough for a first down.
It's good to have a little luck on your side.
Cheers to everybody listening to tonight's game. We really appreciate the support throughout the season. It's been a weird season for all of us too. I mean, I remember doing the first game of the year, and it was during the NCAA tournament. True March madness to be calling football games in the middle of March. But this is the conclusion of this very strange 2020 season. Flag down, a 2-yard gain. Coach, go ahead.
I was just going to say, somewhere Woody Hayes is smiling watching all this stuff.
The Yellow Jackets.
I mean, there's no dust on this
illegal
field turf stuff, but it's It's a lot of that right now for Oxnard.
Right.
Good physical game. And I think with this running style, this is the kind of thing that's going to wear down a defense
Illegal
if they
motion.
keep running it. And,
Against the Yellow
powering the
Jackets,
football.
it's a 5-yard penalty.
And this is what they don't need, a 5-yard penalty. 15 yards, the way they're moving the football is a little tough.
15 from their own 30-yard
Yeah, I
line.
just have moments where I'm really nostalgic about Noah Magana, by the way. Thanks for the shout out, man, on the YouTube chat. Tell us your thoughts, or if you have any questions. A little nostalgic about those Mark Beckham triple option teams, right? And that's just a style of the game that is gone.
It's gone, and it was tough to defend because you never saw it, and he was true to it and won him a lot of football games.
Certainly some moments of this game reminiscent with how much the teams are running the football, but that's an easy pitch and catch. That picks up 11 yards, and it's 2nd and 4 for Oxnard.
Yeah.
Do that every play.
Absolutely.
Malachi Crawford, number 14 for the Tritons, forcing him out of bounds at the 40.
And that was a good throw and a nice catch, and picked up 10 yards, makes it a 2nd and 5, very manageable. So, again, very impressed there by I would have the last 2 weeks, this young man, Devon Tate, I should say, a lot of poise. I mean, he does not get rattled. He doesn't show the emotions that a freshman normally would. He just comes and plays and lets his other players around him help him out as best they can.
6'2", 145 pounds, play fake, completes that, and it's actually held on to Bastillos, and that's a 6-yard gain, good for a first down. Jackets are on the move.
Yeah, that's one of the things we said in the pregame show, that his receivers, both receivers, cores for both quarterbacks, have got to make a few plays for them to be successful tonight, and that was a very nice catch in traffic on that last play.
We are nearing the halfway point. Of this second quarter. I'm going to text Joe and try to get some scores. In his element down on the field.
Yes, he is.
Tate will keep this time, and down he goes.
Tate is sacked.
When he can't get rid of the ball, he gets in some trouble, and we've seen it a couple times now.
Yep.
Oxnard going in the wrong direction.
4 on the play. 2nd and 14.
What do you tell a quarterback in that situation? He's a young player. The pressure's coming. You get a little rattled. It's just how it works. I mean, how do you coach him to get rid of it? What do you do?
I think, again, you have to coach him to get rid of it on his first look and just throw it out of bounds if you have to. But I think right now they've really relied on maybe a little bit too much here in this early going. Right. See if they come back to the running game. Looks like they are.
This time it's John Vasquez, who
John Vasquez
could have seen some time at the quarterback position, perhaps.
And got him about 7, maybe 8 yards. This is
not a bad run.
Yeah, 3rd and 7.
This is an important one, really.
Absolutely.
Inside of 6 minutes to go, you give the ball back to Pacifica. If the Tritons were to score, they get the ball to start the second half. It could get a little out of hand. Oxnard needs to keep the ball moving. They need a first down.
Looks like it's going to be Boogie in the backfield. Boogie Franco.
Really just setting it up maybe for 4-down territory. Here's Franco. Keeps. Franco dodging and darting, and he gets the first down on 3rd down. No 4th down needed. And the Oxnard Yellow Jackets move the chains.
And that's what they do well. And Boogie Franco is a tough little running back. Very, very impressed with him the last two weeks. That's what they do. Give him the football. He's tough. He likes to carry the ball. You're playing into your strength with your offensive line.
Enough for a Yellow
Pick your spots with your quarterback throwing, but I don't think you want to have him throw 2-3 in a row. That's getting out of your normal element. Devon is back in, I believe, at quarterback.
Clock continuing to run. It'll be a short first half, lasting probably about 45 minutes. And that's a backward pass, although it is complete again to Jaden Franco.
Tracked down by
and again, they're going in the wrong direction. Too many negative plays on the early downs here, Coach.
2 on the play.
Christian Hernandez with an excellent open field tackle on a good athlete. Franco in space is kind of scary. Remember the old days when all we had was the band to contend with? Those were the days.
The old days they were.
Yeah, the halcyon days of my youth.
It's about a 4-yard pickup
for
Franco, and get a few yards here, and it more than likely is 4-down territory.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be a 4-down situation here.
Inside of 4 minutes to go, and that is one thing that is such a huge part of the college game
5 yards
still.
on the play. It's going to be 3rd
But
and 8.
is more and more less a part of the high school game are the bands, right?
Yeah.
The bands' performances at halftime, and
Yeah.
there's certainly nostalgia when you see bands out there, and we do hope that in the fall
Hopefully
the bands
we'll
play
yeah.
once again.
Hopefully.
This clock is flying.
Well, it hasn't stopped a whole lot of times. As I said, I got reservations at Cronies for 8:15.
3:20
Whoa.
to go, and slipping and falling as he tries to throw the football is Devin Tate.
Closest
He looked to pump fake.
to
He
the
slipped and
quarterback.
fell. It's a
Tate
bit of a freshman.
Well, and that's what they
Issue.
did not want. Makes it a
Loss
4th and
of close to
more than 20, and now it will be a
13
punt
on the
situation.
play, 14 on the play, and it's going to make it 4th and 27.
Well, we should see Pacifica get the ball in decent field position around the 35-yard line here.
With 3 timeouts and plenty of time.
Ooh, nice punt.
It's a nice punt. Taken at the 26-yard line.
Catch at the 26.
Okay, 2 minutes and
Kick
40
was by
seconds to
30,
go
Julio
in
Cardenas for the
the
Yellow Jackets.
Ventura Orthopedics game of the
Tries
week.
to take
Let's
over
take a look at
first
some
and 10
scores.
from
Ventura
their
leading
own
Buena
26-yard
14-7.
line.
Nordoff on top of Fillmore 7-0. St. Bonaventure leads Moore Park 14-0, and Simi over Oak Park 21-zip.
I'd like to take this time to
No surprises so far.
Nope.
recognize our sponsors.
Ventura
and supporters.
obviously
A big thank you to
closely
the
watching
Pacifica
this game.
Football
Whether
Parent Support Group
the
for
coaching
the
staff and
game
the
day
players
now.
are not is irrelevant, but the
Kobe
fans are.
Ventura, Performance Physical
As
Therapy.
an Oxnard win
Danny
would
at Anacapa Brewery.
create a
Unique Hair
3-way
Studio of
tie.
Camarillo. And Brian Jewell of Seaside Realty.
For the
Results that move you.
Let's see how Pacifica reacts here. I think they're just going to keep the ball running
First
and
and
keep
10
that
for the
clock
Tritons.
moving.
Yeah. You have to like the spot you're in.
Oh, yes.
You get the ball to start the second half.
Whitney on the carry. It's a
And
gain
I
of
think
1.
the biggest thing here is how well the Pacific offensive line has played so far tonight against a really
Number
good
35.
defensive front by the Yellow
Antonio
Jackets.
Solis.
That's a surprise.
And number 99, Trust Hunt on the
Yeah, I
tackle.
mean, if Oxnard were
Second and
to
9.
score another touchdown, that's virtually equal to the most points. Excuse me, if Pacifica were to score another touchdown, which breaking up field here to the 43-yard line is Josh Joyner.
On the carry.
You joked about how on the roster it says he weighs 0 pounds. He
Number
put
24,
lots of weight behind that. He's probably about
Jones.
150.
Yeah,
and he looks like he's
Pushing
going to
him
be a
out of
player.
Yeah, I remember years ago hearing Walter Payton
Joyner
talk
with a
about
carry.
at the end of a drive, you want to finish a drive with some authority, and
That's
this young man
25
did,
yards.
Just did.
especially for a guy who's been brought in as a
Check
scat
that.
back. He made a powerful hit there.
20 yards on the carry. First and 10
That
for the
stopped
Tritons.
the clock, too. So that did start to run at 2 minutes and
Whitney
3
on the
seconds.
carry.
Now it's
Gain
down
of
to
1,
1
initially
minute and
contacted in the backfield
55
by number
seconds.
20, Jalen Langfield.
Still 10-0.
Second
Pacifica not
and
using their timeouts. How would you go about this, navigating these last couple minutes?
I'd still keep running the football.
no gain on the play,
I think
second and 10.
for Pacifica, they want to limit the number of possessions tonight, and even right now, even if they don't score, if it's 10-0 at the half and
You get the ball.
and you get the ball back, I think they're going to be real happy. Nice play there defensively.
Tackled in the backfield is Jordan Whitney.
Yeah, Jalen Lankilde made the play there. He's a very good defensive end for Oxnard, who had a great game against Buena last week.
Flags down on the play.
Flag down. Players jawing it right around the 50-yard line. Who's this going to go against with 1:24 to go? It certainly could change the strategy for either team.
Absolutely. Might be an offsetting.
Yeah, I think it may, Coach.
Dead ball personal foul
Yep.
against the Tritons.
There you go.
Personal
I think
foul
that's fair, and it
against
really doesn't change
the
much in
Yellow
terms of where we
Jackets.
are.
Offsetting penalties.
So we're looking at second or third now. What's it going to be?
Third down. It
Third
is
down.
third down, Coach. Third
Okay.
down and 9. Danny Page and George Contreras here for the final game of the 2020 season. Is that what we call it? I think we're supposed to.
2021 spring.
2021 spring season.
Okay, so third and 10 now.
Third down
No
and
play
10.
remains second down.
And the clock starts running.
No,
So
it
with
is
The
third
offsetting
down.
penalties, no
We got
play.
1:15
No,
left
it
in the
should be a
half.
play with the offsetting penalties. They came afterward.
Right.
Yeah.
Check that. It is third down on the box. Third and
Just over a
10
minute to go,
for the
Coach. I
Tritons.
think both teams are going to be pretty content to head to halftime. See what happens on third down and 10.
Whoop.
Another inside handoff. This
Joyner on
time,
the carry,
again,
loss
it's
of
to Joyner.
Let's see if
Number
Oxnard
20.
uses a timeout here.
No, I
to-
don't think so.
was
Yeah,
that
maybe
punt?
they will.
Killed
Yep, they do.
Okay.
on
All
the
right,
tackle.
force the
Timeout
punt.
for the Yellow Jackets.
Again, this
Their
should give
first time out of the half. 2 timeouts remaining.
this should give Oxnard the football somewhere around the 35-yard line, I would guess, with 52.6 seconds left, and Oxnard trailing 10-0.
This has been a really fast first half,
Yeah.
although you said the game would be over at 8:15, and you're
Yeah.
going to be wrong about that.
I probably
Okay.
will be. They're not going to take a halftime. I think we're just going to play straight through.
Right.
Again, tonight's game is being broadcast on VC Prep. If you'd like to watch the replay of the game or
This is the Ventura County Star Game of the Week, brought to you by Ventura Orthopedic. Danny Page, George Contreras, Joe Curley in his element down on the field.
For the game of the week.
This is Gary Glitter. So this is rock and roll part 2.
Yeah, it's a timeless classic.
Formation for the Tritons, number 88, Jason Sosa.
Fourth down and 10. Punt gets away with 50 seconds left. It's another good kick, fielded by Oxnard at the 30-yard line. A little room to run up to the 35-40. And Oxnard will start from the 43-40. 2 seconds left and 2 timeouts. It's still a difficult proposition.
It is
Coach,
with the
to
way
get an
the way their offense has been running. It will be tough, but they do have the two timeouts. And we saw last week when they got the ball towards the end of the half, they just exploded for some big plays. So we'll see what happens this week. Suddenly it was quiet, much too quiet.
42 seconds to go here in the half. Let's see what Oxnard does. Certainly don't want to turn the ball over.
No.
On first down.
Okay, put it in the hands of the freshman quarterback.
And he'll likely tuck it and run. And he goes out of bounds at the
Tate
40.
scrambles out of bounds.
So picks up
Gain
about
of
5 yards, and it only takes
5
about
on the
8
play.
seconds.
Got out of
Can't
bounds,
complain
saved a
about
timeout.
that.
That's a good heads-up play.
It is.
Second and 5.
He's made some smart plays, to say
No,
the
yeah,
least. Now,
I
he slipped and had a couple little issues, but for a freshman,
No, I think he's done well. And I said, even after the slip, that was his next play, and he made a nice read, got himself out of bounds.
Right.
I think he's a heady guy who is the future at that position for the Yellow Jackets.
and he'll stretch the field to the left side, and that is in and out of the hands
Intended for number
of the
3,
intended
Elijah
target,
Aragon.
Elijah
In
Aragon,
coverage
the
for the Tritons.
sophomore, had the
Corey
corner
Ransom,
beat.
number
and
15, and number
boy, he
7,
was about to put
Christian
Oxnard in
Hernandez.
business inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that would have been a tough catch, but almost made the big play that they need.
So 26 seconds remain here, 10-0. Pacifica leading Oxnard in this brilliant rivalry.
I'm sorry, I'm just getting my groove on here. I'm
You're
feeling
always
good.
getting your groove on. We know what you do on those European trips.
Absolutely. Tapas, here we come.
Discotecas.
Yeah.
3rd and 5. Tate again. Tate throws this time. Oh, what a pitch
Tate
and
pass.
catch.
Oh, my.
Completed.
It's good for a 14-yard
Elijah
gain and a first
Aragon.
down to the 38-yard line.
And
They're running
next
out of
out of
time, though,
bounds
Coach.
after the
18
reception.
seconds left. You still have 2 timeouts,
Gain
but
of
Tate, what poise.
11.
at this
Goodness.
point, you got to pick up about 10 yards, 15 yards, and
Right.
just throw a couple in the end zone.
Yeah.
Right?
And again, Tate's poise is really something to watch. That's a fine throw.
And there's such a thought when you have a young quarterback to protect them, right? And sometimes you see in games with a young quarterback, you just let them loose and they surprise you, right? Take some of the pressure away, and they'll surprise you, and that's what's happened here.
Oh.
Oof, not what you want.
Flags are down. Dead ball, false start, illegal formation. Illegal procedure, I should say.
That's a cardinal sin here for Yellow Jacket receiving corps. Just watch the football and go on movement, not on sound.
From the 42-yard line.
Now the clock was stopped, so there's no runoff.
No, the clock should stay the same. Actually, I think they lost 0.7 of a second.
Home timekeeping.
That happens. Yeah. That happens.
You've probably been a part of a couple of those in your day.
I've seen those things can happen. Yeah, I think the referee's talking about it right now. That's one of the things you see the ball snapped and you start it and then the flag, so that's understandable.
They're going to give him a whole second back.
Yeah, I'm not sure on these new clocks if you can get the 10th up there. The 7/10, I think, is what we're needing.
Did they do it? I'm going to tell them.
They're not yet.
19. Look at our contribution to this game as a whole. You know,
it's pretty good.
This is what we get for having a coach sitting with us. I didn't have any idea what was going on, but once you say,
yeah, old guy, watched a couple games growing up as a kid.
Boy, that would be a question. How many games do you think you've watched in your life?
Man, I know the first one I saw. That was in 1956, LA State versus Mexico Polytechnic.
Wow.
Ooh.
Two juggernauts of the game. Throwing down the left side, and it's incomplete, Coach.
My goodness. That was an impressive
what a throw by Tate with 10 seconds left. Oxnard would have had a chance inside the 20-yard line.
And a great catch, too. That was on the fly. Went up for the football.
Second and 15.
Joe Curley was right in front of it. I'm texting him now. Oh.
He may have made the play there. He may have scared somebody with his presence. He always intimidates me at these games. I don't know about you guys. Well, Tate has definitely shown he's not afraid to throw the football in these pressure situations. This drive has been impressive for that young man, I think.
It's been his most impressive drive throwing the football. He's just cutting loose a little bit. Second down and 15. Tate again pressured. Tate almost loses the football, and what could have been a disaster. But that's a sack. That brings the half to the end, and it is 10-0 Pacifica. An eventful final drive, but nothing for the Yellow Jackets. They trail the Tritons in this rivalry game, 10-0. We'll be back with the second half.
J.D. Henderson, number 27 for Pacifica, with a 1-yard touchdown run, make it 7-0. Kicker Derek Mejia for Pacifica, number 70, with a 27-yard field goal, making it 10-0. At this time, last week was the senior night, and one of the seniors was not here from the cheerleading squad. Ashley Young, let's honor her right now. Ashley Young, senior cheerleader. After graduation, Ashley is planning on attending Cal Lutheran, where she will later transfer and join a nursing program where she can earn her cosmetic nursing degree.
Welcome back to Pacifica High School. Danny Page and the coach, George Contreras. Always good catching up with you, Coach. You've been on the Game of the Week for probably 5 years now, I want to say. Yeah.
Everything drafted me in Barcelona that one night.
Right.
I think we had a few sangrias that led up to that signing.
Definitely. It was you were a tough sell. A tough sell. Taking a look at the stats from the first half, I can run through them quickly and then we'll get your thoughts, Coach. Pacifica with 123 total yards. 2 for 2 for 21 yards is the quarterback data IQ. The star of the first half clearly is Jordan Whitney. 8 carries, 88 yards. In total, 101 rushing yards for the Pacifica Tritons. Defensively, 3 sacks. 3 sacks from Ina, all of which ended Oxnard drives. And that's been just a huge, huge difference in the game tonight.
No question. I think the biggest surprise to me tonight is how well the Pacifica defense has played. I think, what was it, the rushing stats? I think for Oxnard, they've had more yards passing than rushing tonight, which is just a shock.
35 yards passing, Coach, for Tate. He's 5 of 10. 26 yards rushing. And, obviously, this is a week after Boogie Franco ran for 175. He has 9 carries for 30 yards. Surprising.
And part of those stats too right now is Pacifica has held on to the ball for a big chunk of the first half. Oxnard did not have the ball for I think they had 3 possessions, and this is playing into Pacifica's hands here. If they can do this again, they get the ball to start off with, and right now the way the game's going, if they get the ball and score again to make it a 16-0 or 17-0 game, even at 13-0, it's going to be a tough road for Oxnard the way Pacifica's defense is playing, especially Ina. He has had a tremendous first half, and those 3 sacks, my goodness, for most kids, that's a season total, much less a first half total.
Well, and Coach, it's not just about what Pacifica is doing defensively that makes it an uphill battle for Oxnard, but the way that they're running the football and the fact that Oxnard, at least on the balance of the season, is able to assert themselves far better running the football. I mean, this clock could go very fast here. It's 8:07 p.m. here. I mean, this game is going to be done by 9 o'clock. So Oxnard certainly needs to get a stop and get some points on the board.
Right. Coach Moreno, when I talked to him this week, he said the key to his defense's victory this week would be stopping the running game. And a check on that is they did not. They did not stop the running game of Pacifica. The other thing offensively, no turnovers, which they did not. And eliminate mistakes. The mistakes they've had have been negative yardage plays more than anything else. That's been the killer for them. He wanted to control the time of possession. I'm sure right now Pacifica is controlling that. So the Tritons are really doing what they want to do. They have stopped the run. That was a huge thing for Tritons, and they've done that. They want to score on defense, which they have not yet, or at least set up a score. That has not happened. But I think Coach Moon is quite happy with what happened in that first half.
He certainly should be. I mean, just remember the storyline. This is a state champion that did not defeat their bitter rival. And for Pacifica, I mean, that certainly has, sorry for the pun, that has stung them over the last.
All set for the second half.
I promise that was not my intention.
10-0.
But you're right. I mean,
12 minutes on the clock.
They won a state championship, but they didn't win a league championship last year. So.
From their own
in this shortened season, that'll be a feather
Josh
in
Joyner and Christian Hernandez
the Tritons' cap if they can pull this off.
John Vasquez to kick for the Yellow Jackets.
Vasquez will kick away the senior.
Ooh, offside.
Offside for sure. It's a short kick. And Pacifica is able to follow it on the 35-yard line.
At the 35-yard
line. A very
line.
telling opening drive forthcoming. I
think
we're going to have an understanding what this game's going to look like.
You're right. Right now at 35-yard line, great field position to start their drive. And our DJ's back, in case you were wondering. Actually, I saw the Rolling Stones at Super Bowl 40.
You were at Super Bowl 40?
Yep, up in Detroit. You can't beat a Super Bowl in Detroit.
Pontiac Silverdome. Wow.
Yikes.
That was
that wasn't the plan.
No. So Pacifica goes back to the ground at a
Alpew on the keeper.
Counted for more than 80% of their total yardage.
44 putting pressure on him. Dakota Tinaharo.
Al Pugh keeps the freshman quarterback Data, who's the fifth stringer.
Right.
And it goes for no gain. It's a good start for the Oxnard defense. What they need. Got to get a stop here.
Absolutely. A 3-and-out would be huge for Oxnard.
And here is easily the most
Al Pugh
successful runner and really player of the opening half. It was Joyner, excuse me. It wasn't Jordan Whitney. But Joyner was a nice change of pace back, and he gets 4.
On the tackle.
I'm surprised that Whitney didn't start the
Yellow
series
Jackets,
as a
3rd
running
and
back.
6.
I don't see him out there. Pass incomplete. It is just what Oxnard needed. Only 59 seconds go off the clock. It's a 3-and-out for Pacifica.
That's a huge defensive series and big game changer. So the defense for Oxnard came out and they've made their statement here on this drive. Now let's see what how their offense responds.
In punt formation for the Tritons.
You know, it's like you always say, Coach, it's hard to win a game when you don't score.
Yeah,
at his own 25 to receive the punt for the Yellow Jackets.
After that incomplete pass, the clock stopped. And a really high snap.
Solid.
Boogie Franco was coming in to try and get to that, and that takes a really big Triton roll down to the
51-yard punt on the play.
51 yards on the punt.
88, Jason Sosa. No
the last 20 that was on the roll, so that got him out of a dangerous situation.
Take it anyway.
Yep.
The Yellow Jackets.
I believe that was number 70, Derek Mejia doing the punting.
1st and 10.
Sophomore who was the hero of last week's overtime 17-14 win over Rio Mesa. Came up big on that play. And we've said this a lot. There's been so many sophomores that we've talked about all season long that are just contributing to their teams, which is to be good for next fall.
Well, they would have been, really some of the stars of spring football practice, for example, right? Seniors don't play spring football. So those freshmen and sophomores had to be up in play so that they're ready for next year. It's a unique dynamic.
Cool. And
smashed in the backfield. No gain.
Tritons playing defense just like they did in the first half.
For the Tritons, number 21. No gain on the play.
That really is the most surprising storyline.
2nd and 10
tonight, isn't it? That the Pacifica defense has really been performing the way that the Oxnard defense has for most of the season.
And I believe that they only had one starter coming back off that state championship defense from last 2 years. So this has been a big surprise.
Yeah, it's the only one. So 2nd and 10. Oxnard needing to get something going here, and it's a quarterback keeper by Tate.
Tate on the keeper.
Nice
close.
play.
Be about a yard
gain of 8 on the play. Santiago Ochoa.
Ventura County Star Game of the Week brought to you by Ventura Orthopedics. 10-0, just 2 minutes into the second half here at the home of the Tritons. Beautiful field, brand new scoreboard, state championship banner on the gym. This is a very different feel at Pacifica High School.
Yeah, that was just a tremendous story last season or a year ago now. Just fantastic season for these young men and this school and this community.
Flags are down.
3rd down and 2 and a penalty flag against the Yellow Jackets.
In case you're wondering, Poyena, who has been the star of the first half defensively with his 3 sacks, he'll be playing for Dixie State University in Utah, I believe that is.
Penalty against Oxnard.
All right, that changes things from 3rd and short. Now we're looking at the 3rd and 8, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he really could fit well into that sort of outside linebacker hybrid role, stand-up rusher.
The Yellow Jackets going to back him up 5 yards, making it 4th and 7. Check that 3rd and 7.
Dixie State is in Utah?
I think so.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, I think it's because it's in southern Utah. That's how I got Dixie.
Right.
I'm thinking, but don't quote me on that one.
3rd and 7. With the clock running, we're just less than 3 minutes into this second half. It's really played into Oxnard's hands thus far, and on a key 3rd down, just a little bit too much on the throw.
Yep. Nice coverage there by number 15.
Number 23,
Damari Ransom for
pressure applied by Poi Aina
for
might
Pacifica.
have gotten a tip at the line.
Again, the secondary too. Malachi Crawford for Pacifica is number 14. Only a sophomore, but he's already gotten a bunch of offers from colleges. He's going to be an excellent defensive back in the next couple of years here for the Tritons.
Yeah, great size, 6'4", 170 pounds.
Yep,
Slade
bigger.
to receive from, from
Coach,
the Yellow Jacket 40.
Back-to-back punts in the first 3 minutes
Cardenas
here.
to kick for the Yellow Jackets.
Certainly not how Pacifica wanted to start the half. Oxnard with a really strong defensive stand to open the half, and then they give it right back. And look at the field position that Pacifica will have at the 32-yard line.
That's about a plus of about 40 yards from where they were at the end of the last
Kick
series.
is 16 yards.
So I think right now Coach Moon is extremely happy, even though they didn't score, with 3 and out on that first series. The kicking game helped them with the 51-yard punt. Now their defense got a 3 and out and a poor punt by Oxnard. So this is right where Coach Moon wants to be here. At the 32-yard line, excellent field position.
Interesting. One thing I want to point out, Anthony, if you can, after this play, maybe just get us down to the 35-yard line on the near side. Jordan Whitney's there without a helmet in his hand.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Take a look in a moment after this play on first down. Great field position for the Tritons. And smothered
So Kim on the carry.
in the backfield is Philip Kim.
Number 20 there with
20,
tackle.
Jalen Linkfield.
He is a very good defensive end, as I said earlier in the
Him in the
first half.
backfield,
He had a great game last week and
makes
a big play here. Second
from
and
the
12.
34.
There is Jordan Whitney, as you can see, 8 carries, 88 yards, and he is not on the field, nor does he have his helmet in his hand.
That's not good for Pacifica. Now they're having to rely on 2 freshman running backs to take Whitney's place. And 2 kids who are both much smaller than Whitney as well. And they're both in the game right now in the backfield.
On 2nd and 12, it's a pitch to the left-hand side. It's Philip Kim. Kim ducks his way for about a yard.
Kim on the carry.
Starting 11.
Yeah, so we're looking at an all-freshman backfield right now for
Jalen Linkfield
for the Tritons.
on the tackle.
Good speed.
Again, gain of 1, 3rd and 11.
So what started off as a beautiful drive here has kind of gone backwards.
And a beautiful field position.
Yeah. And right now, I'd say they're probably out of field goal range for their kicker, from what Coach Moon told us.
By about 20 yards.
Yeah, so I think there still could be in a 4-down situation, depending on what happens on this down. If they can pick up 5 or 6 yards, I guess they think they would go for it.
Sprinting to the right-hand side. The ball is
Flag
overthrown, but that is an easy call for the official, isn't it? As the intended target, Josh Joyner, was just mauled, really. It's easy first down.
Yeah, that was
Pass interference against Oxnard.
one of the issues here, too, that I think we're going to see as we go along. If they continue to do the sprint-out passing game, the running back's got to help block the defensive end. And with Whitney, with his size, that's not too much of a problem. These 2 freshman kids who are not real big, that can become an issue down the road if they have to rely on more sprint-out passing by Dede Aipu. That's going to be a first down.
It's going to be a first down, a nice gain inside the 20-yard line. So Pacifica really has done nothing offensively in this half. And they have the ball inside the 20-yard line.
15-yard penalty on the pass
so far, too,
enforcement against
the Oxnard Yellow Jackets have had just enough penalties
to
keep things alive for the
down to the
Tritons offense
18-yard line,
in the
first and
first
10.
3 quarters. And that's not helped their cause.
So Joe Curley says Whitney was hurt on the 3rd possession. At the moment, he does have his shoulder pads on, but he has no helmet. He seems very relaxed. I would likely say that he might not be coming back into this game. I think he's drinking a Coca-Cola or something, too. Remember, this is a sophomore who promises to be a real star here, and Pacifica just can't get anything going either.
On the carry.
Now you're seeing the real Oxnard defensive front is really coming to play.
A lot of Yellow Jackets. Number 20 leading the
charge. This is where they had success last week, was when they started blitzing their linebackers against Buena last week. They really made some things happen. And they brought a few this past time.
Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14.
It just feels like such a crucial few plays here in this contest, and really for the league championship.
and I think here, if Oxnard can stop them here, that's a huge shot in the arm, and that might get their offense going here. And they've got plenty of time to get back into this thing.
Absolutely. False start against Pacifica, and certainly a positive indicator for Oxnard, as now will be second and 19.
Pacifica.
Yeah, I think this is
back
for
to
Oxnard.
5 more yards.
Coach
to the
Moreno's got to be
27,
excited by this turn of
19.
events here. 2nd and 19 with an all-freshman backfield looking at you, and a defense now that's really starting to play like as they were billed. I think one of these things too with Coach Moonstaff, they're using every second of this clock they can to keep the clock running when the ball is running. Clock is running, I should say.
Clock doesn't run on penalties, does it, Coach?
No.
Illegal procedure. False start against Pacifica.
We're seeing Ina now at tailback.
Back to the 32-yard line, going to make it.
Yeah, his last game before going off to play college football, just an absolute star with the team last season. And you want to give him a senior year to really remember.
And and he's had one. So
yeah, he has.
This is a good thing to see this young man tonight having this kind of success.
And listen, continuity is not a phrase that would be used really in anyone's life over the last 12, 13 months. But if Pacifica, as Ina, will keep it, and he's tripped up at the keeper 26.
At quarterback.
But for Pacifica to win a state title, then come back and sweep the league, that is continuity, right?
Absolutely.
That says that we are the preeminent team, especially when it's a rebuilding year.
Oh, yes. I mean, when you've lost an entire defense with one exception, one big exception, it is a big rebuilding year for them, and they've done it. But I think that gets back to Coach Moon and his staff have done a really good job here building this program and getting it to the point where they are. It's not just a flash in the pan 1 year type deal. They're a serious program.
Ina again. He'll carry to the left side, and Ina dives forward.
On the carry.
It's to the 20. What do you
Number
do
35,
now? Try and kick it?
Yeah, they're going to kick it, looks like. Here comes
Derek
Mejia.
Yep, the sophomore.
To the 20-yard line.
And again, if they don't have those two offsides, you're looking at 4th and
in field goal formation.
And being a kicker at any level is about a lot of confidence. I mean, if he can knock this through, it's a long field goal. But that momentum that he'd have in the future.
Yeah, the seriousness here is a block kick here could be a disaster. It could be a scoop and score the other way. Nice snap, good hold.
It is blocked.
And they were
They
fortunate.
got a piece of it, but it rolls into the end zone.
That it went
positive. Good.
So for Oxnard, you haven't moved the ball necessarily. All you've done is go 3 and out. But at the same time, you're beyond the halfway mark of this quarter, and you haven't given up any more ground despite that poor offensive performance. And really, the disastrous field position they gave up.
And they still have 4 field position at the 20.
Line, 1st and 10.
There's not going to be many more possessions in this ball game. Right now, being down 2 scores, I don't know if they're going to get 3 possessions here the rest of the way. So this is incumbent on them to get some kind of score out of this drive.
The way this Pacifica defense is playing, right? It really just feels like 80 yards seems like 800 yards,
Yes.
If they had to go 30, it might make more sense, but Oxnard hasn't even been inside the 20-yard line.
No, and just getting first downs without the help of a penalty has been
one on the
difficult.
play, 2nd and 11.
The scheme that they're playing here, they're normally a 3-5-3 team defensively with 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers. They've shifted their strong safety over, and they're kind of playing more of a 5-2 look here against this strong running game of Oxnard.
Sweep to the left-hand side for Bastillos, and he has nothing happening.
Bastillos
tackled down
taken down behind the line by number 21, Andrew Tilson.
Coach, I mean, when you look at the scores for really any Pacific View League game, not including games against Channel Islands.
7 on the play.
There aren't any shootouts either, right? These have been defensive games. Does that just have to do with the fact that offenses haven't had the time to prepare?
I think it's that. I think it's just the development of a quarterback with spring and summer
and non-league,
in the non-league games. I mean, really, we should be just hitting mid-season form right now, and we're at the end of the season. So all those factors have come into play. Plus, with no, I'll let you call this play.
Yep. Sprinting to the right side is Tate. Tate throws on 3rd down, and that'll
Tate
be well
right,
short of the first down.
Out of bounds.
4th and 8, and I mean,
they
have to
by
punt.
number 11, Santiago Ochoa.
And they're punting.
3:56 to go in the 3rd quarter here on the Ventura County Star Game of the Week, brought to you by Ventura Orthopedics. What were you going to say?
4th and 9.
Well, I think the other factor is
formation for the Yellow Jackets.
for the last
number 30, Julio
year,
Cardenas,
there hasn't been athletic
played.
PE classes. There hasn't been conditioning classes.
Tritons,
And when the kids did come back,
Yellow
I doubt that all of
45.
them were in top-notch shape, and then they only had a few days to get ready for a game. So all those factors have come in to make this more of a 1960s look to football as opposed to a 2021 look.
On 4th and 9, that is away, and it will roll out of bounds right near the 50, or it'll be down right near the 50. The Ventura County Star Game of the Week brought to you by our incredible partners at Ventura Orthopedics with 6 convenient locations throughout Ventura County. The experts at Ventura Orthopedics are ready to serve your bone, joint, and muscle needs. And seeing an orthopedic specialist is even easier with Urgent Ortho, now offering Saturday hours in Ventura. Just walk or limp in for immediate orthopedic care. For any questions or to make an appointment, call or text 800-698-1280. That's 800-698-1280, or visit venturaortho.com.
Okay, 3:46 left here in the 3rd quarter, and I think the field position game has been huge for Pacifica and against Oxnard so far. Oxnard needs to get a turnover here to get back into this thing.
A turnover, a big play, something that can turn the tide. I mean, really, both of these teams in this 3rd quarter
evades a few tacklers.
Pretty much have negative yardage.
Bigger loss
in the first half, we were talking about how well the Oxnard offensive line was playing the blocking. And this half, it's been the Oxnard defensive front. They're really taking it to Pacifica. But they do need to get that big play somehow, some way here.
Throwing, that is caught. And the defensive backs trip over each other. An opportunistic Triton team takes a 17-16 lead. It's those little plays that make the biggest differences.
50 yards.
An easy pitch and catch from Apu.
Wow. The defensive backs both fell down.
And then they ran into each other.
Yeah, so it was kind of like Keystone Cops there for a second. But hey, let's give that credit to Dede Apu. Freshman quarterback makes a good throw. Good receiver, Aiden Herrera makes the catch. And what a run after the catch.
Really important PAT, Coach. Yeah. And that PAT is good. And it's a 3-score game
point is
now.
up and good. 3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
15 minutes and 11 seconds in this game.
17-0.
And Pacifica's officially in control.
Yeah, that score makes it really difficult for
50-yard touchdown reception.
Oxnard. Now, the thing that Pacifica has to be careful. Hey, they can't relax right now. They've got to keep some pressure on here and not let up, saying that they've got this thing sewn up. This series right here, if they can stop them, and then they might start celebrating a little bit. But this is tough.
Well, isn't that one of the most important kicks in any game? Is if you're up 16 to make it 17, that is just one of the most important extra points or any type of kick.
And we saw Oxnard last week on both their touchdowns last week against Buena, went for 2 and made it.
In to kick for the Tritons.
So this makes it now official. It's a 3-score game now.
42. Xavier Mendoza.
That 16-13 win. A 16-0 score would have looked a little bit different than the 17-0.
For the Yellow Jackets.
So let's see what Oxnard can put together here offensively.
Okay, see a return coming. Oh,
Mendoza
up to the 42-yard line, and
for 11 yards.
21.
Tackled by number 21.
Andrew Tilson. The Tritons are just really
Tilson.
running downhill at the moment. They've got all the momentum, and they're staring at a league championship and a win over their bitter rivals.
Yeah, and Tilson made the nice open field tackle again, and look where Oxnard is, inside their 30 once again. The kicking game for Pacifica has been huge tonight. Great kickoff coverage. Great, their one kickoff return was solid. Their punting game's been very good, so I think that's been a huge difference in this defensive type of ball game.
But that's what they did last season, right? They were a complete football team.
Yep.
And the teams that don't just win league titles but section titles, they don't just win section titles, they win state titles.
And
here's the play the Yellow Jackets have been waiting for. Boogie Franco, 20, 15, 10, 5, Touchdown,
Touchdown
Oxnard.
Boogie.
7 yards, it's number 5.
Boogie,
No
Boogie
flags
on
on the play.
And this is what I was concerned about for the Tritons here, that perhaps they relaxed a little bit with that 17-0 lead. Things were looking good. Now we're getting serious again, and let's see what they decide to do here on their extra point situation. They may be bringing out our young female kicker, Jamie Toledo.
Yeah, they will.
Yep, she's coming out, and she did not get a chance to kick last week, but she was watching the struggles of Oxnard's kicking game in practice a few weeks ago, and came up to Coach Moran and said, hey, I can kick better than those kids. And she came out, and sure enough, she can. We'll see how she produces here. This should be her first attempt of the season.
Jamie Toledo, she's a junior. Pacifica jumps, and she's not able to get that off. Now, does Oxnard go for it? Now that they're a yard away, she's not even going to get a chance to kick.
And this is exactly what happened to Jamie Toledo last week.
Right.
The Buena did the same thing. They jumped off sides, both extra points, and led to the 2. So maybe she won't get to kick this year. Apparently, she's a very good player on their championship soccer team over at
Coach,
Oxnard.
let's just go back to that extra point, that made extra point earlier, right? I mean, you'd be staring at a 1-touchdown game perhaps if the Yellow Jackets can convert here. 17-6, 2-point conversion coming.
Oh.
And that negates that point. Absolutely stuffed. That play never even got going. Now it's 17-6 with 2:51 to go in the third.
That was the Titus Hutchison, who's going to Western Colorado next fall. He's normally a linebacker, but he comes into the goal line situations, and they ran that for good plays last week. They were well scouted by Pacifica, and they stuffed that play for sure.
Your Tritons lead 17-6.
Coach, in the first
scoring drive, 67-yard touchdown run
30 minutes of this game, basically, 31 minutes, down to the 4-minute mark of the third quarter, we had more or less about 180 yards of offense. In the last 2 plays, we've seen nearly 130 yards of offense.
Yeah.
As the game's come to life.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And that gives Oxnard a lot of hope here. If they get another good series here and get some field position off of a punt or maybe a turnover, they're really excited. So it's 17-6 with 2:51 left in the third quarter, I should say. Plenty of time here if they can make another big play.
Ventura County Star Game of the Week, a brilliant conclusion to an interesting season. My name is Danny Page with Coach George Contreras. Our producer is Anthony Placencia. To my left, Joe Curley's down on the field.
Offside.
There's another offside. Fair catch called for, and that time the flag was thrown.
Okay, that'll be 5 yards.
At the end of the play, correct?
You know, the problem for Pacifica right now with these short kicks, you don't get a big return out of the deep guys for Pacifica, but you're giving the football at the 45-yard line.
Yep. Now, you said the problem for Pacifica. You meant the problem for Oxnard.
The problem for Oxnard, I'm sorry, yeah.
Right.
So the problem for Oxnard right now is these short kicks, it's automatically giving them great field position. I think their hope here is that someone lets the ball bounce and it takes a crazy hop backwards towards them, and maybe they can recover it. But if they kick like they just did, they're probably going to get the ball at around the 40 to 45-yard line, and I think Coach Moon would be very happy with that.
But, Coach, if you're going to try and execute that, you got to keep everybody on side. Pacifica,
Absolutely.
The 2 teams are lined up to kick, but the penalties declined, guys.
Oh, they're going to take it right there, man. Why not?
Look at the side judge on the far side. He's like, hey, they declined the penalty. It should be at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and that makes or did they? Now what are we doing? I think declining it would have been a good deal because you would have had the ball.
Do you have to take it because it's a false start penalty?
I don't think so. Well, no, you do because it was illegal procedure before the ball was kicked, so you do have to take that one. That's right.
Check that against the Yellow Jackets. False start.
You know, that's a bit of an interesting strategy.
Re-kick
perhaps
after 5-yard penalty.
Have a false start on a kick like that. If you're not caught, you get a nice jump of a couple yards, which is exactly what happened the kick before.
Yeah.
You never know. Could try and bend the rules a little bit. I find it clever.
It happens. Referees fall asleep from time to time. This is a little bit okay.
And this is taken at the 28-yard line. Tritons get it up to the 37, 2:44 to go in the third quarter. And this is where the Tritons will begin. There is under 15 minutes remaining in regulation.
First and 10
in this 2020-2021 season. It's been so unpredictable in so many ways in terms of when we would start, but the more things change, the more they stay the same, and Pacifica is staring down a league championship if they can salt this one away. Do you stay aggressive here? Do you
I'd
focus on the run?
I'd say focus on the run. That's what they've done well all night long.
Right.
But the way it's been stuffed the last few times, you may need to get something out of IPU at quarterback. You may need to get a throw here, 1 or 2. Here he comes running.
He'll keep it. And his coach says, whatever you do, just stay in bounds.
Quarterback Heber.
But other than that catch and run, Pacifica's offense has done virtually nothing.
Yeah, the loss of Whitney has been huge.
For a loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
Super talented sophomore. They tried to spice things up offensively by bringing in Ina, and it really just didn't make a huge difference.
I think they might look at it again if they're normal down. They brought him in on 2nd and 25.
Here's Joyner. And Joyner can't even get back to
No,
he does get to the line of scrimmage, but that's about
He's got
it.
speed,
Tackled
but
by
so
number
does the
35.
Oxnard defense. Their linebackers
Antonio
ran that thing down
Solis.
very, very well. Now, did he
The
stay
gain
in
of 2 on the
bounds?
play, 3rd and 9.
Yes, clock is running, so that's to Pacifica's benefit.
Yeah, when you're leading by 3 scores, or 2 scores, excuse me,
now,
as
yeah.
opposed to just 1.
Keep that clock running.
Keep it running. They'll throw on 3rd down. That is complete.
Pass is complete.
But short of a first down, and you have to punt, I think.
Yeah, I
don't you?
think so.
Gain
Yeah.
of
Play the field position game at
4
this
on
point.
the play.
Put it back
Gonna
on your
make it
defense.
4th and 5.
Remember last time out, a 51-yard punt.
Yeah, that was a long throw by that young man for the 5-yard gain. But their problem right now is first down. They haven't been getting much on first down. That's kind of forcing their hand on 2nd and 3rd.
For the Tritons.
1 from a penalty. They have 1 from a
Xavier
penalty.
Mendoza.
And then they have a touchdown, and that's it.
Yep.
At his own 25
See how
to receive.
how the Pacifica defense comes out after being stung on that last series with a long run. Ooh.
High snap. Well handled by the punter. Let's see if this takes another Triton bounce. The ball really just hits dead at the 35 and
Sosa's
is
kick.
down
to
at
the
the
32.
32. Hey, can I ask a statistical question?
Sure.
Do touchdowns
Versus
also
Yellow
count as
Jackets.
first downs?
They do not.
They do. I thought they did.
No, that's the key to a great trivia question. What is the highest scoring NC2A game of all time?
The highest scoring NCAA game of all time is 222-0. Georgia Tech
Over
of Cumberland State,
Yeah.
right?
And how many first downs were there in that game?
Probably 0.
0. Every touchdown was a punt
every-
return, kick return, or a first down score. So yeah, they don't count. That's kind of got to get at least 1 for that,
I didn't realize that about the Georgia Tech
yeah,
Cumberland game.
yeah, there were no first downs in the game.
5, Jaden Franco.
But I know
Did
years
you watch
ago.
that game in
by number
HD?
7.
I did. I watched
Yeah.
it live. I was
Yeah.
there. I was reporting that game. We had
Gain of
tin
1,
cans of
2nd
really
and
long
9.
strings.
Right.
Yeah, but it was good. No, I can remember years ago.
It might have been during the last pandemic, I think.
I think it was.
Sorry, what were you saying, Coach?
No, I'll let this play go and then we'll come back to it.
10 seconds left in the quarter. 2nd and 9. Straight drop from Tate, airing it out, and he has it, and it's caught!
Here comes Oxnard.
We go to the 4th quarter, and the Yellow Jackets are in this thing. They have 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line. Absolutely back
Down to the
from
27-yard
the
line. That's the
proverbial
end of the
dead.
third
The two
quarter.
teams are going to change sides. Oxnard knocking on
At
the
the end
door.
of 3, your
Best field
Tritons
position
lead
they've had,
17-6.
and wow, this is a ball game. This is amazing. So we got a 17-6 game in favor of Pacifica with Oxnard driving, and we got 12 minutes left, 4th quarter.
This is the Ventura County Star Game of the Week, brought to you by Ventura Orthopedics, with 6 convenient locations throughout the county. The experts at Ventura Orthopedics are ready to serve your bone, joint, and muscle needs, and seeing an orthopedic specialist is even easier with Urgent Ortho. Now offering Saturday hours in Ventura. Just walk or limp in for immediate orthopedic care. For any questions or to make an appointment, call or text 800-698-1280 or visit VenturaOrtho.com. Well, Coach, it's been a total pleasure being here, getting to do the season opener, getting to do the end of season game with you. I return to my sort of summer residence, if you will, in Barcelona tomorrow morning. And
good times.
What a way to close it out, right?
Yeah,
By
what a game.
A great fourth quarter with you.
And this is going to be
great
fun.
spot to be.
You know, I was going to say about that first down situation too. You know, when I was in high school back in the day, CIF playoff games, the tiebreaker, if there was a tie at the end of the game, was which team had the most first downs.
Really?
Yeah. So you get in a situation where you score on big plays and you don't get a first down, and this other team, drives a little bit.
You're at a disadvantage.
Start of fourth quarter, first and 10.
Huge sequence here. First and 10.
Here comes Boogie.
Boogie Franco. It's about 2-3 yards. Frankly, not bad compared to a lot of Oxnard's first down runs. Right?
Yeah,
they were going in the wrong direction.
I think they got a 2, maybe. Yeah, that's a positive.
Franco on
play.
the keeper, tackled by number 27.
And this is time for I think the offensive line for Oxnard to
J.D.
really
Henderson.
come to life here. They've got to score here.
Yeah, they have to. I mean,
Okay.
the clock's going to be moving from either team here.
And it's too good of a field position for them not to score. I think if they get held here,
2, second and 8.
great shot in the arm for Pacifica. So battle of wills here in the offensive and defensive lines.
Surely 4 downs as well,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
And there's no safety right now for Pacifica. Everybody's up within 5 yards of the line. Ooh,
Franco sees
it
it,
is.
throws it,
Boom.
caught, touchdown Oxnard.
There you go.
Just like that, they're down 17-0, and now it's 17-12 with
Franco.
11 to go in the fourth quarter. Make a wish, Yellow Jackets. You're within a touchdown just like that.
And again, they were playing a zero coverage with no free safety,
Wow.
and Boogie saw that. I'm sure the coach may probably call that from the sideline. Great execution of that play. All right, let's see if our young lady gets to kick, and the answer is nope. She's out there, and she's coming back.
Going for 2.
Going for 2, so
Good
this will
decision.
make it 14 and make it, again, a field goal to tie it. Give her a chance to kick a field goal to tie the ball game.
Well, the Channel League hangs in the balance at, I believe they're at Larrabee Stadium tonight.
No, that's still PVL, Pacific View League.
Yellow Jackets.
Did I say Channel?
Yep. Okay, those are the good old days. Toss sweep coming
Travis
outside.
die hard. Sweep to the right side, and Boogie is right at the pylon, and he's in 17-14.
Wow.
The Jackets pull 2 back in a matter of 4 minutes,
conversion.
and they trail by just 3. And can you hear that roar
11
coming
minutes,
from
11
the city of
seconds left,
Ventura?
and
Because with the
quarter number
Cougars
4, Tritons lead
leading the Buena
17-14.
Bulldogs, they might have a chance to share the Channel League championship if Oxnard can pull this out. What a turn of events over the last few minutes.
And I think big kudos to Devin Tate and Boogie Franco with their arms throwing the football to set things up and actually score. So this has been a good sign for a team like Oxnard that although they were way down and hadn't done anything, this fourth quarter and into the third quarter have been great shots of how what courage they have and their fortitude here playing.
You know, at this point in a season 2, 5th game of the season, I mean, how many times have you seen a game, even if it's a rivalry game, where one team is in complete control, they're running the ball well, and coach, that's it.
Yep.
You know, maybe the opponent gets a late field goal or a late touchdown and it's 24-7. I mean, so often you see teams in this situation, especially in a mid-season type of game where this is the end of the season. I mean, you just roll over and that's it, but they have shown such guts to get back to this point, and now it's a 3-point game.
And you kind of wonder,
Joyner
too,
for 17 yards on the return.
as we've said, Oxnard's won 5 of the last 7 games between the two schools.
Right.
And you wonder, again, if that's starting to come into the minds from some deep subconscious level to both schools, positively and negatively. So needless to say, we have to see Pacifica do something here, or they've really opened the door for a late rush by the Yellow Jackets. And they've had a lot of trouble on first down in this half. And they need to get some positive yards here if they ever break the huddle. Here they come.
Well, and Coach, to give up a lead like this in this situation to a team you've lost to a lot, it just compounds the pressure that you feel.
Absolutely.
First and 10 Pacifica.
Tritons will keep it on the ground. It's a
Joyner
4-yard gain
over the left side.
for Josh Joyner. It's exactly what they wanted.
Yep.
Number 6, Angel Guerrero on the tackle
They
for
want
the
to
Yellow Jackets.
keep the down and
Gain of
distance
4
in
on
a
the play,
positive
second
mode, and a 4-yard gain
6.
on first down is good execution.
Joyner again, and that time Joyner's
Joyner on
hitting
the
the
carry.
backfield.
Number 20.
2-yard loss, 3rd and long coming up for the Tritons, and their offense
Two on the play,
has
3rd and 8.
been ineffective in this half.
Kind of surprised here with they're still going up tempo at this point. I thought they might want to kill a little bit more clock here with the lead.
Yep. They really go up tempo. Quarterback makes a man miss, rolling to his right, trailed from behind, throws it, and it's behind the receiver, throwing across his body, and another 3 and out. Oxnard's going to get the ball back with 10, 11 to go.
Oxnard defense is controlling the tempo right now. They're doing everything that they want to do here, and the problem with that drive is it did not eat up a whole lot of time.
You know, Coach, that is just the thing about this brilliant old game, isn't it? Is that the games can just turn on an absolute whim, you know, on a dime, and you can just go from being, you know, in the absolute doldrums to carrying all the momentum, and it's just one of the special things about this sport. This punt is not a good one. It bounces at the 45, and the Yellow Jackets from the 50 will have their best field position of the night, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you are right.
Within a score. You know, one of the things I want to point out is if we can take a look, Anthony, at the Oxnard fans. This is something I said at the Ventura High game. You know, Coach, one of the things that, you know, first of all, seniors were allowed to attend this game, and that's a lot of people in one place for what we've seen.
Yes.
But at the same time, Coach, you know, to say the least, the really at-risk part of the population, the seniors who would, you know, be most at risk have mostly been vaccinated at this point. We're very fortunate in this country for that. And there was this feeling of, well, it's going to be weird being around people again. Mm-hmm. This feels great. You know? It feels great. It doesn't feel strange at all.
I see most everybody's masked up at least, so that's a positive.
Exactly. We're outdoors wearing masks. It you know, science shows that it's not the worst thing in the world, and it's great to see lots of Oxnard students here, lots of Pacifica. It's just a beautiful night for football. And we got off to a slow start.
But it's rocking and rolling now.
It is rocking after a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 coming.
I think this is where we're going to see Boogie Franco just take over here. He needs to be stopped somehow by Pacifica. If not, he will control and dominate this 4th period.
Now, Ventura has a lot to be excited about, but they're leading Buena by just 2, 21-19 in the 4th quarter.
Wow.
Oh, and it's fumbled, recovered by Devin Tate, one of those where he released the ball and it almost flipped behind him. It's a sack on his own doing and a loss of 4. It's 3rd and 10.
I think Devin Tate's excited that he got the ball back. And Pacifica's excited they got about a 4-yard loss on that play.
3rd and 10.
And Tate's limping a little bit here.
Oh, he is.
He's still in. But I'm seeing a little bit different body language on him. I think, again, he's in a little bit of pain at the moment.
Yeah, he is.
And I really don't know right now if he were to go out, who else they have to go to other than going back to Franco at tailback.
Might be what you have to do.
Yeah.
But on 3rd and 10, difficult situation, the twists and turns of this great rivalry. Tate steps up, he's going to run, and he slides about 3 yards short.
Yep, I think he might have been able to make that.
Make it 4.
You think so?
And 4.
Yeah, they mark it where he started his slide, which is back here, so it's huge down for both teams.
And that's what an injury can do, right? Is you just don't trust your body as much.
Right. And again, if I'm not feeling that pain, I might have one more stride in there before I think about anything and make it. So we have a
timeout. Oxnard.
Oxnard wants to talk this over. It's a huge 4th down.
Oh, yeah.
This is remaining. Once again, let's recognize the starting lineups for your state champion Pacifica Tritons.
At the same time, I mean, one of the these stories, as much as anything of this half, has not necessarily been the Oxnard offense,
Gabriel Rivera at center,
but the Oxnard defense. Pacifica, other than that touchdown, has had nothing but 3 and outs this entire half.
I think at halftime, I'm sure the coaches had a certain talk and made a few little adjustments here for Oxnard, and they've paid off big time, other than the one pass play.
Running back, number 23, Jordan Whitney, and at quarterback, number 4, Dayton Alpue. Your starters for the Tritons on defense.
So we've got 8:05 left here in the
number 10,
4th quarter, 17-14 right now, in favor of Pacifica, and a key 4th down play coming up.
Outside
Coach, always a pleasure to be with you. Former University of Washington.
Yep.
What position did you play?
I played center, but I was the
14,
I was just bad enough I could have played for Cumberland State back in the day.
Right.
Number 7, Christian Hernandez. And at Falcons, number 11, Santiago Ochoa.
I remember meeting up with your friends at that University of Washington game. That was a great time. What a crew.
4th and 4.
Huge 4th down and 4 for the Jackets. It is Boogie Franco. It is a reverse. It's a reverse pass. It's completely busted up, and Oxnard can't get rid of it. It's a total disaster for the Jackets, and Pacifica is going to take over with excellent field position. A 13-yard loss, and arguably the biggest defensive play of the game.
It was just a one-man pattern, and I think he was well covered downfield, but Pacifica completely smelled that thing out. And not only was it the no play, it lost about, what, about 15 yards maybe?
Almost 15.
So that's huge for Pacifica's defense and for their offense. Now we got 7:56 left in the game. Let's see if Pacifica slows their pace down a little bit here.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah,
I will be perplexed if they go up tempo.
Yeah, I would be too.
I mean, you look at getting that stop. You have 7:56 left. Coach, they could have taken another minute on the last series, right?
I think so.
You get one first down here. It's inside of 4 minutes.
Yeah, getting a first down on this possession is huge, because that's going to be about another 3 minutes total.
Christian Hernandez is the deep back. They give it to Hernandez, and Hernandez picks up 4 yards, which the way Pacifica's been going on the ground in this half, that is a really positive start. And now they're going to slow things down.
Yeah, Hernandez isn't huge. He's 160 pounds, but I think he's bigger than the 2 freshman kids.
Right.
And he hit that hole nicely. So, again, 2nd and 5 is a good thing.
Last game of the season, too, you want the ball in the hands of your senior, really.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Other scores, Nordhoff 21, Fillmore 8, Simi up 49-0 on Oak Park, and Wainimi leads Santa Paula 24-7. Here's Hernandez to the left side. Hernandez gets to the line of scrimmage, hits the line, and nothing doing there. So the Tritons have slowed things down, but they really need a first down here.
For the Yellow Jackets, it's a loss.
And again,
no gain on the play.
Young quarterback's got so many things to think about. But
3rd and 6.
Right now, if you could pay attention to the referee that's back in the secondary, when he raises his hand up, I think that means there's 5 seconds left. And because we don't have play clocks here at any of these stadiums in high school, that would be something for that young man to be aware of and eat up a little bit more time. But he's got enough on his plate as it is.
Hand goes up.
Okay, there we go.
Snaps the ball just in time. Really well done. It's Hernandez again. Hernandez sprinting to the left-hand side, trying to get away from a tackler and can't. He is swarmed by the Jackets.
Hernandez on
and
the
Pacifica
carry.
With 4th and 8 upcoming. It is another 3-and-out.
Tackled
Every drive this half has been 3-and-out, with the exception of their touchdown drive, which was extended by a penalty. And
they're thinking, but they should punt here, I would think, given the way things are going. They've got to pick up some field position.
Loss of 2 on the play.
Oxnard with 2 timeouts left, 17-14, 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the 4th quarter.
Sosa is to punt for
if you can pin him back pretty deep here, Coach, you really are a stop away from winning the game.
Yes,
because
you are.
For Oxnard having to go the length of the field, it would be very difficult.
They need a good snap and a good punt here.
We've seen a couple high snaps,
too. That worries me. It's a good snap. There
very
you go.
Good snap.
Different punter.
This is a high punt, and it takes an Oxnard bounce. Rolls down inside the 23-yard line. 5:22
rolls out to the 22
to go. It's 17-14. Pacific View League title on the line. Everybody is watching, certainly over at Ventura as well.
I think that was a good adjustment by Coach Moon's staff, putting in a punter with an 80 number there instead of a 70.
Right.
Just in case of bad snap, you could do something with it. So, but he had a perfect snap. That was a beautiful snap on that one.
Interesting for Oxnard. A change at the quarterback position.
Again,
and it's an inside handoff. That was Samuel Marquez, the senior.
Again, we're kind of concerned about the Oxnard quarterback getting hurt a little bit in the last series.
Yep.
Is number 18, Samuel Marquez.
So Devin Tate is on the sideline and Marquez is in.
4 minutes and 57 seconds. Sorry, guys. I'll make sure to keep you posted
on the last play, second and
on the amount of time left in the Ventura County Star Game of the Week, brought to you by Ventura Orthopedics. 2nd down and 8 now for Marquez, bringing in the senior, too. What a moment this could be. Marquez throwing it deep, has a man open, he underthrew him, but there's a penalty.
Flags down on the
that
play.
Is one of those too, Coach, where I know in the high school game you don't have spot fouls, but that is one of those that deserved a spot foul.
Oh, yeah.
And there is a Triton player down, injured on the far side of the field. And
I believe that is the cornerback that was in to replace Ipu, since Ipu was going to be quarterback. It looks like Ipu's going to come back out here on defense. So actually, this will put a better defensive back in the game by definition. He's the normal starter out there. Hate to see anybody get hurt though, and that's been a big theme in this spring season. There's been a lot of injuries, season-ending type of injuries. I think again due to the lack of conditioning and so forth, the weight training, what have you.
Player is down on the field and the medical staff is all being called over.
Yeah, it's not a good sign.
Why don't we take a timeout, Coach? It looks like they'll be attending to this player for a minute. We'll be right back on the Game of the Week.
Number 15, Jamari Ransom, the injured player for Pacifica.
Jamari Ransom, the injured player, and scary moment for that young man and his family. We hope he's all right. He is up on the cart. We are certainly behind you, Jamari. We hope you're okay, a sophomore.
Yep. Hate to see that happen anytime, but especially here at the end of a game like this. So after the penalty, though, there was a PI, so it's going to be a 1st and 10 out at the just short of the 41-yard line for Oxnard.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those that intuitively, again, feels like a spot foul.
Yeah,
you know?
Yellow Jackets.
4:34 to go.
41-yard line.
Oxnard football. Here's Marquez. Could he be the senior hero? A nice spin move, and John Vasquez is down to the 41-yard line. I mean, what a moment this would be for the senior Samuel Marquez.
Well, you know, in big games like this, there's always somebody who's an unsung hero.
Right.
And it might be this young man, and as a senior, what a story that would be to come in off the bench and provide big sparks here.
Certainly has an arm, and that's what Oxnard needs at this point,
absolutely.
Right? 4 minutes and 10 seconds left. Fake to Vasquez, inside give to Franco, and Franco gets
Franco on the carry.
It's about 4 yards. It's a nice gain
down.
on first down, yeah.
And, you know, this might be, too, with a good passer here. This is not what
4 on the play.
Pacifica's been working on defensively all week long, so
Right.
this is huge that this kid is performing so well. And even, you know, drawing the pass interference, it was a good throw that a PI was necessary, so it wasn't complete.
I mean, these are the types of moments that you certainly remember your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
2nd down and 6. 3:21 left. Marquez drops. Marquez will throw deep down the left-hand side. He just overthrows his man. He's got a nice arm.
Yes, he does.
Intended.
He throws very
Marcus Bustillos, number 25. In coverage is number 8, Boy Slade. Incomplete.
And Oxford had receivers kind of running free in the secondary here. They haven't been able to connect, but they're getting themselves open on these deep routes.
Yeah, deep routes haven't exactly been a big part of this game.
No, not
for
at all.
either side, really. I mean, the one long passing touchdown was just a short hitch route, more or less, that saw 2 defenders bump into each other and go for a 50-yard touchdown for the Tritons. But other than that, I mean, it's just not something we've seen. 3:16 remaining. 3rd down and 6 in the Ventura County Star game of the week. Samuel Marquez, the senior in at quarterback, a name we did not think we'd be calling tonight. Throws quickly, and he hits his target, but it's in and out of the hands of the intended target.
Well covered.
Number 17, Angel Mendoza.
And, they had a chance on that play.
Malachi Crawford.
So 3:12 left. It's not an absolute must moment for Oxnard, but it would be very important to convert here.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 timeouts left for the Jackets, so really.
Conversely, if they don't convert here, it's huge for Pacifica. They've got to get a first down.
They don't have a first down in the half?
Yeah.
Well, they do have one, and it's via a penalty.
Yeah, so they need to get a first down if they get the ball back here. But first of all, their defense is going to have to come up with a big play and see what Oxnard has up their sleeve on this one.
4th and 6.
4th and 6.
It's nice to hear fans cheering in this way.
Yeah,
we haven't heard it
is.
in person in a very long time. Season on the line, the league championship. Marquez drops back, has plenty of time to throw. Steps up in the pocket, heaves it toward the end zone. That is knocked up in the air, in and out of the hands of the wide receiver. No flags on the play, and Tritons take over from the 38-yard line with 3:05 left.
Well, heck of a throw, and it would have been taking a great effort to make that catch, but there was a chance. So now can Oxnard's defense come up with a stop, a quick stop, hopefully for them.
At their own 38.
And conversely, can Pacifica get a first down?
it really is weird to be saying with how in control this Tritons team was earlier, right? Just to be saying, can they get a first down?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
almost, since they scored that touchdown pass, like you said, about a 5-yard throw and a 45-yard run after it, it's been all Oxnard. And they got the big boy at tailback now.
Boyana on the carry.
Ina carries,
Franco
no
on the
gain,
tackle.
inside of 3 minutes.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12.
Boogie Franco on the tackle.
And it's going to be moments for big players to make big plays, and they're not any closer to their real first gained first down of the half.
Yeah, and they've got a negative yardage play as well. So the Oxnard defense knows right now they're not going to throw the football. Let's get after this thing and gamble a little bit. And you can see right now, it doesn't look like they're going to have a safety or anybody very deep off the line of scrimmage. Yeah, the deepest guy on the line off the line of scrimmage is about 4 yards.
He's just going to take a knee?
No.
Just give it to the up man. Up to the 48-yard line of first down for the Tritons. It is their first non-penalty first down of this
12 yards
half.
on the carry.
Well, defensive lineman making the play on offense.
I really thought they might just take a knee there or something.
Yeah.
It was concerned about turning the ball over and then punt it back to Oxnard. That was quite a play call, and it is one of the bigger moments of this game.
You're looking now at their defensive linemen are taking over the offense in the running back positions.
Right.
Using their strength and their athleticism to good use. And as you see now, they're in the huddle. They're not in a hurry at all with 1:48 left and the clock running.
Ina will take the snap this time, the senior. He'll run to the left side, puts on a little stiff arm, gets across midfield.
And stays in bounds.
Stays in bounds, tackled at the 45-yard line. Oxnard takes a timeout.
They've called a timeout, so they'll
timeout. Yellow Jackets.
That should leave them with just 1.
Gain of 7 on the play.
91 seconds left in this game. It's been such an interesting season. But just to see these young men be able to compete on the field, and whether, for example, Marquez and Oxnard pull it out or not, he'll remember stepping in that key moment for his team. Certainly something special to remember here. But if you look at the clock, it is not on the side of Oxnard. They will need more or less a miracle. If Pacifica gets 4 yards, they will take a knee, and the game is over.
Pretty much. So they've got 3 downs to get 4 yards. And I think everybody knows at this point it's probably going to be Ina with the football again.
(17-14), 1 minute and 31 seconds left. 1 timeout for Oxnard. Ina will carry the ball. Oxnard needs a stop here to continue the game. Ina running right. He has the first down, and the Pacifica Tritons.
On the carry.
And that should do it.
Yeah, they can just take a knee a couple times. Oxnard, are they going to use their last timeout? Either way, it won't matter. Pacifica 2 snaps and 2 kneel downs away.
Clock is
down
running.
to the
as the clock
38-yard
runs,
line.
1 minute and 15 seconds. Well, Coach, one of the things you always want to do is you want to win your last game.
Yeah.
And if you win your last game, in many cases in a season, it means you're a champion. And it would be 2 years in a row for Pacifica winning their last game.
First and 10.
And the great thing about it, besides being a champion, it just takes you into your offseason. You're just on a high. And as crazy as this offseason was,
Neal and a timeout.
This would be a good thing for
49 seconds remaining.
So with 49 seconds remaining, Oxnard does use their timeout, which I do understand.
That's their last timeout. So, as you said, a couple of kneel downs here, and it's over. So, barring some crazy fumble snap, it should be a done deal here, and Pacifica should close it out with a nice 5-0 record for the spring and a Pacific View League title.
Absolute classic between Ventura and Buena, a 75-yard touchdown run for Zane Carter of the Bulldogs. With 6 minutes left, it pulls them to within 3, 28-25.
Wow. I believe I read today in Joe Curley's fine article that
Every Joe Curley
that Buena has lost the last 10 games against Ventura. So that would be huge for Ryan Boland and his troop over there at Buena High School.
Yeah, I remember that last Buena win over Ventura. It was with that Bulldog team that did as Ventura did sometimes, where you go unbeaten in the Channel League except you lose to St. Bonaventure. Tyler Perry was that star defensive end, tight end for the Bulldogs. It was, 11 years ago now, I want to say.
That's it. 10 in a row. Ventura has won.
Yeah. Of course, we've done certainly over 100 games here over the years on the Ventura County Star Game of the Week, and that Ventura Buena buzzer beater was one of the best we ever saw. That was an untimed down. It actually was. And, well, there are 49 seconds left here, and a penalty against Oxnard. That is one of the issues with taking that time out and trying to dislodge the ball or force a fumble is. That kind of type of play, and now it's over at this moment.
It's kind of what I do like. I see a lot of teams are the spread offense. They're taking you out of their spread formation.
Right.
And, you're going to lose 5 yards on the stats, but it's a little bit safer than that.
And that will do it for the ball game.
The Tritons taking
your final score, Tritons 17, Yellow Jackets 14.
And there's a little bit of confusion as to whether or not the game's over. But I think the game is over, Coach. And the Tritons, state champions a year ago, section champions a year ago, were unable to claim the city crown. But here in spring 2021, the clock strikes 0. And the Tritons are champions yet again, this time of the Pacific View League in the city of Oxnard. They go 5-0, following up their momentous season with another championship, and this one certainly sweet.
Absolutely. Good win for Pacifica. Quite a ball game, especially the last about 15 minutes of the game were just amazing. Congratulations to both groups. They'll be back at it here again soon, and we'll see them in the fall, I'm sure, in another championship level situation.
Yeah, Coach, if you could just sum up for us, it was a really interesting season, but we made it this far. We were able to see 5 incredible games on the Game of the Week, and these kids, most importantly, were able to have senior year football.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing for those senior kids. It's just good. Even though it's only 5 games, it's better than 0. It gave them a chance to get some film for a possible college look down the road here, and just an excellent effort by all the coaches and their families getting this thing done.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, the support systems that allowed this to happen. A big thanks to the administrators as well. Well, this concludes yet another season of the Ventura County Star Game of the Week. My name is Danny Page. It's been such a pleasure working with this entire team over the years. And we look forward to the fall. Again, thanks to everybody for drafting me into this while I just happened to be in town to be able to do a couple of these games. George, it's been fun as always. And we hope to see you in the fall.
Okay, we'll see you.
Okay, big thanks to the entire Ventura County Star staff. John Catalini back running the show. Joe Curley, Lauren Ledeen, the Deuce even, Derry Eads. Big thanks to our director, Anthony Placencia. My name is Danny Page. The Tritons, champions of their city and the Pacific View League. Good night, everybody.